football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
I don't know about you guys. I'm just excited to be out of the house. Let me tell you what I've done for the last couple of days. I had to work early Saturday morning. I got back to the house around 11:15, 11:30, somewhere in that. I was then in the house from 11:30 on Saturday morning up until 10 o'clock this morning. I watched the entire season of His and Hers. I will not spoil it for you. But on Saturday, other than watching college basketball, what else was there to do? On Sunday, I watched the Elizabeth Smart documentary. I watched both the AFC and NFC championship games, and I watched a movie. I've been watching TV and laying around and eating snacks and playing games nonstop for the last couple of days. I am so excited to be here. I looked at Rob. I gave Rob a 2-arm hug. Brother, how you doing? How did you survive Winter Storm 2K26? How did you do it, brother? Drew, I was happy to see him. Drew and I don't even have a secret handshake. We developed one today. We looked like two NBA players earlier today. It was wild. I appreciate you guys being here. We got so much football to talk about. We have so much television to talk about I've watched over the last couple of days. I forgot to tell you, I watched a man climb a skyscraper with no equipment. All he had was pool chalk and just climbed a building. No gloves, no ropes, no harness, just pure adrenaline and effort. I saw this man wrap his legs around a building and was just hanging there. Like, oh, I'm a little tired. I'm just going to rest for a bit. What? I also watch UFC. I've spent a lot of time watching television these last couple of days, and I'm so excited to tell you about it. This is The Drive. I'm here. Rob is here. Drew is still here for whatever reason, trying to steal our show's secret sauce. You know how he does. We have so much to get into. Rob, first off, how are you doing? I feel like this is you and your wife's first snowstorm. This is your first one. What was it like to be in the house for the last 2 days, just you, her, and the dogs, and Melvin Council? That's all you've had for these last couple of days.
Who, by the way, we can talk about later. Another dog, Melvin Council.
A big dog.
Big dog. It was our second snowstorm at the house. First cold apocalypse. Yeah, it was good. I watched a lot of television. I did not finish Him and Hers, but I did watch the movie The Rip with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
I had that on the list for tonight.
That was a to-do. I got a couple episodes into His and Hers. I finished Black Rabbit. It was a lot of, you know what it made me pine for? I missed it. Why can't it snow on like November 11th when we have a full day of college and pro football? I was just a lot of sitting around and shoveling over at Casa de Brenton.
You want to know what it had? It had a lot of COVID vibes. That's what this weekend had. This weekend had a lot of April 2020 vibes is what it had. It was just to stay in the house. What'd you do this weekend? Oh, I didn't do anything. I just watched Netflix kind of weekend. That is exactly the kind of weekend that we had. All right, we got a lot of football to get into, but first I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you guys to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I just need you to stay warm. Stay warm, but if you got to go outside, then go see our friends over at the other place. Stop in. I know you haven't seen anybody for a while. Go in, get yourself a hot bite to eat, grab yourself a drink, catch the game. I know we got some college basketball coming up. Somebody's playing college basketball today. Probably going to be some pros playing in the game, but there's going to be some college basketball going on. Stop by and go see our friends over at the other place. All right. I think a perfect way to start the week is by telling you I was wrong. We are not starting with the Chiefs. But a perfect way to start today's show is by telling you I was wrong. That's what I was wrong about. I'm born and raised in Missouri. And you know what that means? You got to show me. I think if you do this job, if you are in sports media, maybe this is why some people hate sports media. You are a natural skeptic. Sports talk radio is not based off you being positive and, oh, you can do it and everybody's good and everybody's great. No, it is based off me thinking you can't do something. It is based off me thinking that you are going to lose. It's based off me being upset about whatever decision you make. That's what makes this economy go round and round. Now, I'm here to tell you that for the last couple of years, I could not have believed in a person less than I could have believed in Sam Darnold. And why should I believe in Sam Darnold? The first 6 years of Sam Darnold's career, he was 21 and 35. 21 and 35. He had thrown 63 touchdown passes and 56 interceptions. He was completing 59.7% of his passes with a 78.3 quarterback rating. This is a quarterback that, if not for J.J. McCarthy blowing out his knee in his rookie training camp, Sam Darnold was going to be the backup for the Minnesota Vikings, and this story potentially never happens. But maybe the greatest quarterback story we have seen this side of Kurt Warner started to happen. That same quarterback that I told you that was not good, that was a backup quarterback that you would have never wanted to be your starting quarterback, started a journey where over the last couple of years, he has been one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. Now, last year, I started to soften my position on Sam Darnold just a little bit. Not a lot of it, just a little bit last year. And in those last 2 games of his career with the Minnesota Vikings, he then reminded me that a tiger never changes its stripes. He played really poorly against the Lions, and they lost the 1 seed and then went on the road as the 5 seed. He played really poorly in the wild card game against the Rams, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs, and then he is now a free agent. And teams that I thought would have wanted Sam Darnold were not interested. I thought the Raiders would have been thrilled to have Sam Darnold. Raiders said no. I thought the Steelers made a lot of sense. Steelers said no. A lot of the teams that I thought, if you remember correctly, Seattle did not want Sam Darnold. They offered Geno a contract. Geno had no interest in going back to Seattle and took the money in Las Vegas. That then left an opening. Seattle then swoops in and gets Sam Darnold. Now, Sam Darnold is doing the exact same things that he was doing in Minnesota, and I didn't want to believe. I was thinking to myself this entire time, oh, it's going to fade. I bet on San Francisco to win the NFC. Guess who eliminated me? Sam Darnold. Yesterday, I placed a decent money line bet on the Rams. What else did we have to do yesterday other than gamble on our phones? Wasn't a whole lot else going on yesterday. I bet on the Rams on the money line. You want to know why? Because Matthew Stafford was going up against Sam Darnold. I was counting my money the whole day. I knew I was about to win. You know what happened? Sam Darnold made a fool out of me. I imagine Sam Darnold amongst this journey has also made a fool of some of you. You wanted me to tell you when I knew that Sam Darnold had made a fool out of me? It was a lot later than you think it potentially was. It was the last drive of the game. Now, I'm a natural hater. In fact, I have figured out a way to be a professional hater. I get paid to hate. At that moment, man, I was waiting on Sam Darnold to be Sam Darnold. I was waiting on the other shoe to drop literally the whole game. And up to that point, he was making me feel kind of goofy. But you know what? Oh, it was 31-27 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game. And the Seahawks needed to get a couple of first downs in order to put this game on ice. And I'm thinking to myself, this is when the real Sam Darnold stands up. I've been waiting this whole game, and you have outperformed all of my expectations. You thrown for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, haven't turned the football over. This is as well as I've been seeing him play. For those of you that get this analogy, the NFC Championship game was his Nicki Minaj Monsterverse. I've never heard anything like this before. I didn't even know you could do something like this. It got to the final drive of the game, 4 minutes and 54 seconds left, and Sam Darnold needed to put one drive together to make sure that the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl. He threw a 15-yard pass to Kenneth Walker. He then had a 3rd and 7. I'm still hating at this point. I'm thinking, okay, this is when Sam Darnold overthrows somebody or a ball gets tipped or he gets sacked and Matthew Stafford has one more chance to take his team down the field and then his team goes to the Super Bowl. No, on 3rd and 7, Sam Darnold finds a crossing route Cooper Kupp first down. They then had to get one more first down, 14-yard pass play to JSN, ball game. It's over. Sam Darnold yesterday made a fool out of me. Maybe you have been a Sam Darnold believer for a lot longer than I have. I've been a Sam Darnold believer now for less than 24 hours. But I saw a quarterback in the biggest game of his life in a heavyweight championship fight. Think about who all played well yesterday. I mean, Kyron Williams scored a touchdown. Puka Nacua scored a touchdown. Devontae Adams scored a touchdown. Kenneth Walker scored a touchdown. Cooper Kupp made a big 3rd down play. JSN had 100-something yards. This was stars will be stars. Stafford almost put together one of the best drives we have seen this season. He made a big pass play to Puka down the field. He made that little toss play. He was about to run. Matthew Stafford ran for his first down of the year in this game. Matthew Stafford was putting together a phenomenal drive to potentially win that game. They get the stop on 4th down. Darnold then puts the game on ice. That is all she wrote for an incredible NFC championship game. I could not move forward in today's show. We couldn't talk about something else. We have to talk about how I got made to look like a fool yesterday because of Sam Darnold. I have not believed at Sam Darnold at every single turn over the last 18 months. And as we sit here right now, Sam Darnold led his team to a Super Bowl and is currently the favorite to be Super Bowl MVP in a game in which we got a lot of time to talk about it. I don't really know how New England wins. I think that Seattle is better than New England at almost every single point that you would measure. If this is like boxing and we did a tail of the tape, I'm not really sure where New England has the advantage. I don't know if they have the coaching advantage. I don't know if they have the quarterback advantage. They don't run the football better. They don't have better offensive weapons. They don't have a better defense. I don't really know where New England has the advantage. I'm not saying New England can't win the game, but if we are just taking the 13 days out snapshot, Team A against Team B, it's going to take a lot of mental gymnastics for you to tell me how you think New England is going to win this game against this Seattle team that I think is pretty handily proven so far this season that Seattle is the best team in the National Football League, and they played the second best team in the league 3 times this year, in my opinion, in the Los Angeles Rams, and they beat that team 2 out of 3 times, and that was because Sam Darnold, in the biggest game of his life, in the biggest moment of his life, took his team down the field, scored touchdowns, didn't turn the football over, and when his team needed one drive to put the game on ice, he didn't give the ball back to him. He took his team down the field, got 3 first downs, and that was the difference in this game. There were a lot of differences in this game, but a big difference was the good Sam Darnold came up. I said this before, not like I said some drastic take. If Sam Darnold was going to play well, they were going to win. If he was a neutral, they still would have had a chance. If he was a negative, they have no chance. Sam Darnold was the best quarterback in the AFC and NFC championship game. Can you imagine saying that 3 years ago? It is honestly maybe the best quarterback story we have seen since Kurt Warner. A quarterback that for the first 6 years of his career looked like an absolute bust and looked like he was going to be out of the league by 25 years old. He is now 60 minutes away from winning a Super Bowl. Absolutely crazy story. So that was the NFC. We'll jump over to the AFC side coming up on the other time. And I'm tired of these coaches not kicking field goals. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is taxes.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for Earned Income Tax Credit, Child Tax Credit, Student Loan Interest, and Schedule 1A.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions. Our January special. Auger your main drain or branch line for only $99 per hour. That's $100 off. This includes a camera inspection with mainline work. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Now get a small coffee, just 99 cents. Limited time only. See store for details.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me.
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker. Yes. Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
Oh! There's never been anything like this.
Let's go. UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
I'm Mark Solinger, producer and one of the hosts of the Moth podcast. For nearly 2 decades, The Moth has brought live storytelling to stages around the world and to millions of listeners. These are real people telling true stories from their lives. Stories about a lost family recipe, about working to free a wrongfully convicted man, about realizing you need to leave your May-December romance. Stories that will move you, surprise you, make you laugh. Stories you can't forget. Join us. Follow and listen to The Moth wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Listen to the horns play.
All right, welcome back into the show. We have so much to talk about. I have so many notes today over things that I've watched the last couple of days. I want to have a debate with you guys about whether or not you want to continue to see games played in the outdoors the way that we saw in the AFC Championship game. I watched the UFC fights this weekend on Paramount. I watched a man climb a building. I watched his and hers. I've spent a lot of time these last 2 days watching TV. So much to talk to you guys about. We led the show today talking about the NFC Championship game, and I have to start the week by apologizing to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold made me a believer. I have doubted Sam Darnold this entire time. Rob, every time that we have talked about Seattle, I have discredited Seattle every single time because I don't think their quarterback is good enough. Their quarterback yesterday at the biggest stage in the biggest moments proved he was good enough. He made winning plays. That was not a game in which Sam Darnold threw 160 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. If that's the case, they lose. Stafford played well. That Rams offense played well. That game was much more high scoring than I think people expected it to be. So you needed to be on your A game, and that is exactly what happened yesterday from the Seattle Seahawks, and they find themselves now playing for the Super Bowl. We'll get back to the NFC Championship game coming up in just a little bit. I also have a conversation about parity that I want to have regarding the National Football League. Let's talk about the AFC Championship game. Now, I know that over the last couple of years, we have reached the point where somehow field goal has turned into the F word. Like, field goal has turned into such a dirty word that if you say field goal around a head coach, you might be on punishment for the rest of the day. I don't understand what has happened over the last 4 to 6 years where somehow taking points has been viewed as not cool, that somehow taking field goals is a sign of you losing. This is the analogy I'll make, and I probably have made this before. For those of you that gamble, have you ever gone to the casino, let's say with a nice round number, $100? Every person that goes to the casino, they have a number in mind of the amount of money that they would like to leave the casino with when you'll walk away. If you go in there with 100, maybe you want to get to 250, maybe you want to get to $300 or $500, whatever it is. But everybody that goes to the casino and gambles with an amount of money, you have an idea in your mind. I'm trying to hit the casino for X amount today. I would also say that everybody that's been to the casino has also been in this example. Let's say you're playing blackjack, right? And for a while there, man, the table is hot. Or you're playing craps and the dice are hot. You came in here with $100. And now you got a chance at leaving with $115. You got a chance at walking out of here with $115 in profit. But that's not the amount of money that you had in your mind. Now, on one side, you could just leave. You can leave with your $215 in your pocket and be happy. Go buy groceries with this money. Go get gas with this money. Take your girl out for a nice meal. You got $115. The casino is offering you a way out. The door's right there. Nobody's keeping you. But no, you keep playing. No, I told myself I'm leaving with $300 today. I'm leaving with $400 today. Next thing you know, you look in your pocket and you've lost all the money and you're thinking, how did this happen? That scenario happens to NFL coaches every single week. Let's go through the scenario. In the first quarter, you could not play worse offensively than what New England played. They couldn't get anything going. Drake May threw for 19 yards in the first quarter of this game, and they couldn't run the football. The Broncos, they were cooking a little bit. Jarrett Stidham had that big pass play. They scored another touchdown to Cortland Sutton. They're putting together another drive. You're thinking, man, Denver, they got a chance at winning this game. They really do with no Bo Nix. They start moving the ball down the field. Well, the drive stalls a little bit, which is going to happen. It's 3rd and 6 from the 19-yard line. Stidham runs. He gets 5 yards. Now they are faced with a decision. And that music from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire starts playing out of nowhere. It's now 4th and 1 from the 14-yard line. Now, granted, this is before the weather gets here. This is before the conditions get here. You have the opportunity right now to kick a field goal. You have a chance to go up 10-0 and continue to keep the momentum and continue to keep your foot on the neck of the New England Patriots. You really have an opportunity to do this. They decided to go for it. And you knew at that moment that the Broncos were sending the house. They ran a play action. I don't know why. Denver doesn't run the ball enough for me to really worry about the play action. They get after Jarrett Stidham, and he has to throw an incompletion. It is now turnover on downs. Now, I don't know for a fact he would have made the field goal. Maybe he misses. Maybe he gets blocked. It's a 31-yard field goal with a chance to go up 2 possessions in a game in which we knew points were going to be a premium. Nobody expected the AFC Championship game to be some high-scoring affair, and then as you saw the way that the weather turned, you knew that you were going to regret not getting those 3 points. I don't know how field goals has turned into the F word, and these coaches are so afraid of it, and why they choose to go for it and give up automatic points to the degree in which they do. I don't think this is analytics. I think it's arrogance. I think the worst thing that happened with Sean Payton was for Jarrett Stidham to make that throw in the first quarter. That big down the field throw that he drew up on third down, big and aggressive. And see, I told you. You remember, all week, Sean Payton kept saying, just watch, just watch. Bro, I saw your offense just scored 7 points in the game. What did I need to see? I really, really think they should have kicked the field goal. I know it's easy to say in hindsight. You can go back and check my Twitter account, twitter.com/c.harrison. I said it in real time. I would take the points here. You got a chance to go up 2 scores. Denver never got that close to the end zone the remainder of the game. And then guess what happened the very next drive? Oh, yeah, you guessed it. That was the fumble two-hand. I still have no clue what Jarrett Stidham was trying to do in that scenario. Just take the sack. The sack's not the worst thing that can happen there. Or at least if you're going to do it, try to get the ball out of bounds. But why would you try to 2-arm shot put it? He looked like a 5th grader playing YMCA basketball. Why are you doing this? There's nothing wrong with leaving the casino up $75. There's nothing wrong with kicking a 31-year-old field goal, continuing to keep the momentum, and turning a 1-score game into a 2-score game and forcing the New England Patriots to make 2 drives to beat you. I know it's not sexy, but the 2 games that we saw this weekend were won by special teams. The team that was better at special teams won the game. I think in both games, the offenses and the defenses were pretty comparable in a lot of ways. Well, why did the Patriots win? The Patriots made a field goal. The Broncos missed all of their field goals and then didn't kick the one they had a chance to make. This was a 10-7 ball game. Pretty even. 1 play here, 1 play there. One team made more special teams play than the other. That's why they won. Think to the NFC Championship game. This game was back and forth, ping pong, back and forth. What was the big play in the game that turned it? It was a special teams fumble. That kid already bobbled one earlier in the game. His hands were already looking a little shaky, Warrior. And then you kicked it to him again. He's falling to the ground and trying to catch it. No, why? You're falling to the ground. I know it's not cool to talk about throughout the course of the week. And I understand offense, defense, I get it. In special teams, it's a small percentage. I think it's very apparent if you look at the way those 2 games, those 4 teams were even this week. Coin flip games, both sides. The team that was better at special teams and or eliminated the special teams mistake are going to the Super Bowl. And the Broncos didn't value special teams. The Patriots, let's not also forget, the Patriots also blocked a kick in this game. Big difference. And then in the NFC Championship game, the Rams' problem has been special teams all year. That has been a massive issue for them, and it popped up at the absolute worst time, as most of the time your biggest weaknesses do. Rob, are you on my side? Because you're a little bit more go for it than I have been. I think I've kind of shifted over the last 5 years or so. I am less aggressive than I was. In the beginning of this, I was, hey, man, coaches started to go for it more. But more and more, I'm starting to see these teams that go for it and they're so aggressive and they do the analytic thing, it very rarely works out, I think, in their favor. We're just sometimes taking points, taking profit, taking what's right there in front of you. I think over the long term ends up being the best play.
I am still very much team go for it. I think the analytics will tell you that. I think, what's it called? The Coward Index. All these numbers tell you that going for it in certain situations is the right play. What I think the numbers can never articulate, because they're numbers, is things like the weather, which in theory Sean Payton should have known. It can't articulate things like, hey, we have a backup quarterback in, which Sean Payton should have known. I would take a more analytic approach than someone like Andy Reid, but Andy Reid does it by gut feel. I think so that gut feel is the factors the computer and the numbers can't crunch. It doesn't know that on 4th and 1 from the opponent's 14, you should go for it because with this success rate, it works. It doesn't know that Jarrett Stidham's the quarterback. It doesn't know that Snowpocalypse is coming and going to absolutely take all the points out of the game. In the moment, as someone who is very aggressive, team field goals are the F word, I was sitting there thinking, I think Sean Payton should kick the field goal here. Because Tony Romo, and we can talk about Romo and his broadcast later, Romo kept saying it. Hey, weather's coming. Hey, as a heads up, weather's on the horizon. Be alert. We got weather coming. Weather, weather, weather. If Tony Romo knows it, if the people in the crowd know it, if everyone is aware of it, there's a chance of snow later. I think Sean Payton, someone in his ear had to tell him that. And yet, considering all those factors, he still decided to go quarterback rollout with Jared Stidham. I'm team aggressive as much as anyone, but I feel like that was foolish considering the variables that the numbers can't account for.
Text line 913-586-7965. Let me know what you guys think. I think the Broncos should have kicked the field goal in the first half. I think the game is drastically different. Now, it was not as big of a play as the fumble. I don't really know why the officials blew the whistle. Like, you're supposed to let that play just finish itself out, let the Patriots pick up the ball, let them score, and then you can make a decision. Why the officials will then blow the play dead in that scenario when they then determine it's a fumble. Well, if it's a fumble, then the ball's still live, and they should be allowed to advance the football. Also, very scary to note that those are some of the best NFL officiating crews, and they missed a pretty big call in the game that could have had big-time ramifications, but it didn't because the Patriots ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. Very, very important to note in all of those things. 913-586-7965. Rob, I am curious to get your thoughts on this because I heard a lot of people kind of weighing in on this. Now, I'm here to tell you guys I don't have any interest in cold weather football. I don't have any interest in going out there. I don't have any interest in participating in it. But if you want to do, fine. We live in a free country. You are allowed to go out there if you want to go. You guys know my position. Once the weather starts to sounding like Gatorade flavors, I don't need to be out there anymore. I don't want to be in the Arctic blast, but that's cool. But I also acknowledge somebody has to go. The game is much more enjoyable when people are in the stands. So somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to take one for the team. You have decided that person's going to be you. Great. But as I was watching the game, Rob, I'm going to be really upset if we start to lose January football. Because in the same way that you and I were talking about this, I think this was like a couple of weeks ago, whenever the Royals announced they were changing their dimensions, that part of what makes baseball cool is that every baseball stadium is not built the same. Some are built like Yankee Stadium, a little bit smaller. Some are built like Fenway Park with the big wall in left field. Some are built like the Polo Grounds, back big outfield. Part of what makes baseball cool is that every stadium is unique. That in right field in San Francisco, there's the Cove. You can hit the ball into the water. That's cool. That's what makes people want to go to every single baseball stadium to see how they all play differently. I think part of what makes football so cool is that you have to deal with the elements and that the elements play a major factor in it. That some days it's super windy and kicking field goals is really, really difficult. So you got to go for it on fourth down because you can't run the risk of kicking a field goal and missing it and giving up possession. Part of it is knowing how your team is going to deal with the rain, with the wind, with the elements. So I don't want to completely get rid of January football. Now, I understand that there's some teams that play in a dome. I get that. But I don't think every team in the NFL needs to play in a dome. I don't think that every important football game needs to be played in perfect, fair conditions for both sides. I get that in a college football setting and why bowl games do that. Sure, neither team should have an advantage in a bowl game. That's a neutral site kind of game. But in the AFC and NFC championship game, man, part of the advantage that Green Bay should have is that you got to go to Green Bay. So if you're a team like the Lions that plays in a dome, well, if you wanted this game to be played indoors, you should have won more games throughout the course of the season. That you got to go on the road and you got to deal with whatever the weather gets to you. Now, I don't think the weather should be unsafe, but no one's saying that was unsafe. It just was cold. It was just windy. That's what it is in Denver in January. It's cold and windy in Kansas City in January. So if you're Miami and you got to go on the road to play Kansas City, too bad, so sad. Try to figure out a way to win. As we're building these new football cathedrals that these teams are building, and we're putting $2, $3, $4 billion. I'm sorry, everybody ain't getting the Final Four. Everybody ain't getting the Super Bowl. Everybody doesn't need the Super Bowl. Everybody doesn't need to get the Final Four. Why would the Final Four be in Buffalo, New York? I like outdoor football. I love watching it on TV. I don't want to go, but I love January outdoor football. And I think that dealing with the elements and dealing with the wind or the snow or the hail or whatever the temperature is outside is a major part of how you build your team and a major part of how you go out there and win these games. Sure, the NFC Championship game was better. Played on better conditions, grass, outdoors, much better weather. But the AFC Championship game was just as intriguing for its own. It was a different kind of chess match. I was thinking in the fourth quarter, I was like, why is Denver still kicking field goals? You got to assume you're going to miss these field goals. You've missed every single one today. I don't think the weather will allow you. So you got to be calling plays to, on 3rd and 6, you got to be calling a play to try to make this 4th and 1, 4th and 2 to make going forward on 4th down manageable, not to kick a closer field goal. I like the chess match that the AFC Championship game was. I wasn't bored. I don't want every football game to be like that. But for an AFC, NFC Championship game, I don't know. It's something cool about the steam coming out their heads. And everybody's all cold and bundled up, and you really got to see who's tough. I thought in the second half of the game, the Patriots just decided we're done scoring today. We don't think you can score anymore. There was one play, Rob, on 3rd down. I think they just called throw it out of bounds. Like Drake May didn't even try to complete a pass. Rolled out, threw it out of bounds. We're not turning the football over. We're going to punt, and we're going to trust that you can't score anymore. There was a beauty in that game to me that I don't want us to completely lose as we are building these new stadiums. So I know it sounds crazy coming from me, but I am for outdoor football. I'm for it. I told you guys with New Arrowhead, I don't think New Arrowhead should just have a dome. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be fully dome. I like a retractable roof. I like that. But if you're asking me, if they came to me and said, even if the weather is like it is outside right now and it's cold outside, I would have said that the Chiefs should keep the roof open. That's part of the advantage of you being the home team and dealing with the elements and knowing how to handle them. I'm sorry, outdoor January football, there is a place for it. And I think that's part of the game. I don't want to completely eliminate that as we are building these new stadiums.
I'm 100% with you. Roger Goodell and co. don't feel that way at all. Because I'm looking at the stadiums that have been recently built and the ones that we know are coming in the NFL. They are all domed. I saw renderings because the Bears stadium drama is basically what the Chiefs stadium drama was just 6 months ago. And they have renderings from Indiana and Illinois and Chicago proper, and they're all domed. They're dome stadiums. We know Arrowhead is going to be a dome in 2031.
We don't know that yet. They haven't said that.
They have 100% said it. There's a press release. It'll be a dome stadium.
Oh, no, but I'm saying is we don't know if it's going to be a retractable roof or one of those kind of things. We don't know if it's going to be a Legion or more like Houston Stadium is what I mean. We're right. We know that they're going to have some outdoor portion. Is it going to be completely indoors? We don't know yet.
That's fair. Have you seen the renderings for the new Commander Stadium? You'll never guess. Dome.
Yeah.
Or again, this we don't know, but quasi sort of dome. Buffalo is a half dome. They're having the fans covered, but the field uncovered. So you want to call it a half dome? That's cool. It's opening in 6 months. Look at the recent stadiums that have been built in the NFL. They're mostly domes. They are designed to be event spaces / football stadiums. So I agree with you. I like watching games in New England in December. I like that when the Dolphins came to Kansas City in the playoff run a few years ago, no one gave them a chance because of the extreme Arctic cold. Tua Tagovailoa can't play in that. I liked that element. I liked that there was a strategy yesterday that Sean Payton just apparently didn't understand, and the idea that I got to play for the points now because a blizzard is coming. Even in Seattle, it was cold yesterday. It may not have been Arctic blast cold, but I liked it was that level of cold. But the NFL just doesn't see it the way me and you do, Carrington. If we start counting the stadiums in the NFL and start thinking about new stadiums coming, I bet we get to 2/3 or some sort of covered, and it is going to keep trending in that direction. If you're Philadelphia and everyone else in the world has a dome, why am I going to stay outside? If I'm going to build a new stadium, I can host cool things if I go outside. I sadly think that in 5 to 10 years, we're going to say, man, that AFC Championship game was really crazy and cool and snow. Why don't we have that in football anymore? It's just we're trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah, someone texted in, CDOT, if we truly want the 2 best teams in the Super Bowl and the championship games, we need to eliminate the risk of freezing snow games like we had yesterday. Both favorites won the game yesterday. All 4 teams played in the same environment, and the team that Vegas told you was going to win two teams that were the favorites, they ended up winning. Seattle, the better team, won. And in the AFC Championship game, the better team, in my opinion, won the game. I think that's what we got yesterday. Sure, one game was more aesthetically appealing than the other one, but I think we absolutely got what we wanted. The Patriots, I thought, were the best team in the AFC. I've been telling you guys that for 2.5 months now. I've been telling you the Patriots are the best team in the AFC. I have not wavered for a second. When everybody picked Buffalo, I was standing here telling you the Patriots are the best team in the AFC. Now, I was wrong in the NFC, but the Patriots won in the AFC. And Seattle, they've been the best team in the NFC for the last 2 months or so. They won. So, yes, I know I'm telling you that I hate cold weather, but I love cold weather games. Man, at this point, the NFL is a television product to me. It's a TV product. I'm not going out there, but I'm telling you, I love watching it when it's cold outside on TV. I don't know, it just makes it more dramatic, more cinematic. You got to deal with it. You got to figure it out. That's part of the problem solving that I think happens over the course of a football game. I enjoyed the AFC Championship game because of the weather. It was really good. All right, coming up on the other side, you guys always say that we can't take the Pro Bowl seriously, and I think it's a little bit of hate. But you know what? You might be right. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
When the cold sets in across KC, AB May is the trusted name for keeping your home warm, safe, and secure. From furnace repairs to system replacements, we deliver reliable solutions in unmatched care and professionalism. Whether it's a sudden breakdown or routine maintenance, AB May is here to help. Trusted by generations of Kansas City homeowners, we're committed to doing things the right way every time. Call AB May at 913-732-9993 or visit us at abmay.com.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
Dane and Hughes here, and it's playoff time, and there's no better place to bet the chase for the championship than Circa Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be. Whether you're betting championship or conference futures, sides, totals, or prop bets for every round, there's no better place to make your bets throughout January all the way to the big game. Circa Sports, with high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
It's about time pros had one partner for the whole job. Why juggle 10 different suppliers when one can do it all? At the Home Depot, you'll save with pricing built for pros. You'll stay on track with job site deliveries, schedule, next day, or same day. And you'll get every size, every finish, every job lot quantity you need. One partner for the entire job. That's how pros get more done. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
You're going to get a lot of random observations today. I hope you can live with that. I can, so I hope that you can live with it. Let's start with observation number 1. Now, I know how this happened. I do know how it happened. But I'm telling you, if we are at the point that Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler, it's time to stop having the Pro Bowl. Why do we need the Pro Bowl? Just announce the Pro Bowl team. There doesn't need to be a game, and we could just move on with our life. So this is how it happened. The AFC quarterbacks this year were Drake May, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert. Drake May is going to the Super Bowl, so he can't participate. I don't know if Josh Allen's going to go or not. We'll see. Justin Herbert, I don't think he's healthy enough, honestly, to go to the Pro Bowl, so he's out. Bo Nix is out. Mahomes is out. Daniel Jones is out. So a lot of the top quarterbacks this year in the AFC are they're unavailable to participate. But Shedeur Sanders, he threw 7 touchdown passes and had 10 interceptions. He completed less than 60% of his passes. That guy's a Pro Bowler? You're telling me that in 2030, I'm going to go on Shedeur's Wikipedia page and it's going to say 2025 Pro Bowler? No. Come on now. I want to take the Pro Bowl seriously. I do. Are they playing flag football now? What is it? Are they just playing dodgeball? Why do we have this? Why can't you just have the Pro Bowl team? There's not a game. And then we just announce guys to come and just do cool stuff. Hey, come play dodgeball. Hey, come play paintball or laser tag, or I don't know what games they got going on. I'm not watching that nonsense. There's too much stuff I do want to watch on TV to watch stuff I don't want to watch on TV. And I don't have no interest in watching the Pro Bowl. Shedeur Sanders made the Pro Bowl? No. Observation number 2. You guys might remember this. Yesterday during the AFC Championship game, Tracy Wolfson gave us a sideline report. Tracy Wolfson looked like she was in Alaska. She was bundled up. She had on her coat. She had it tied up, had the fur. She looked like she was warm. I mean, the snow was hitting her in her eyelashes, and she's just giving you the report. And then you remember she was facing one direction. She turned the other way to show you, hey, it's a big difference with the wind at your back or in your face, and this is going to be a major problem. Like, okay, that's a good sideline report. If you also remember, Evan Washburn gave us almost the same identical sideline report, I don't know, 2 minutes later. Literally said the exact same things. But the difference in this was, for those of you that are a little bit older, you might remember this. Do you remember back in the day when you got a fresh new outfit or you got a fresh new pair of shoes, the best way to show it off was to go sharpen your pencil? They used to have the pencil sharpener at the very front. So if you wanted to show everybody that you had the new J's on, you had to come up with a reason to go sharpen your pencil. You walk up there and your shoes would kind of squeak a little bit, and you go up there and you sharpen your pencil. And not because you needed a sharp tip, but no, you wanted to show everybody that you had on the fresh new Jordan 5s is what you wanted to do. Rob, I've never seen a person who wanted to show you his hairdo more than Evan Washburn did yesterday. He didn't have any hat. He didn't have a coat on. He looked like Lance Bass in 1998. He looked like he was the sixth member of NSYNC. He looked like he was in the It's Gonna Be May video. That's what it looked like. I've never seen a person who wanted to show you their hairstyle more than Evan Washburn did yesterday. I was so happy when they pointed it out. I was so thrilled. I was sitting there, I was dying laughing at the television. You could tell his face was getting all red. Like, bro, please put on a coat. Please put on a hat. I know you paid a lot of money to get your hair done. We don't need to see it that bad, brother. That's observation number 2 that I had yesterday. Number 1 is the Pro Bowl. What are we doing at this point? Shedeur Sanders? I want to support the kid. I'm on the kid's side, but 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, completed less than 60% of your passes. He won 1 game against the 1 seed Tennessee Titans, and we're giving him, he's in the Pro Bowl? And then Evan Washburn, he looked ridiculous to me yesterday. That's what it was. Rob, he looked ridiculous. Observation number 3. Yo, did you watch this Netflix thing with this guy, this skyscraper? I had no clue that it was even happening. I genuinely had no clue. So on Saturday, I watched His and Hers. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I want everybody, if you want to watch it, I'm not here to spoil. This show doesn't do spoilers. So I watched that. But then you know how the home screen on Netflix tells you things they got coming on. So they were doing this thing. I think it was at 7 o'clock. Maybe it was at 8 o'clock. So this was in Taiwan. The guy that from the Free Solo documentary, if you've seen that, the guy from the Free Solo documentary, he scaled a skyscraper. Rob, he had no equipment on. He had nothing but chalk. That's all he had. All he had is the same chalk that LeBron, I don't know what you would call it, in the air right before the game. He had the same chalk. This man climbed a building. This building's like a quarter of a mile high in the air. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what in the world? I never seen anything like this before. No equipment, no net, no nothing, just climbed it. I'm sitting there watching it. I don't know if I was watching it to see if something would go wrong or something go right. I was just amazed. A, how do you find out that you have this ability in life? B, what makes you do this? C, what's the reward in the end for doing this? Like, what do you get at the end? Do we think Netflix paid him to do this? Are you doing it for the love of the game? I was so confused. I never seen anything like it before. I really hadn't. I never seen a person just climb. He climbed the building with no equipment, no suction cups, no performance enhancing, nothing. Just climbed. He doesn't even look like a super strong guy. He looks like Rob. But this guy's upper body strength, it was amazing. It took him an hour and a half to scale this building. I never seen anything like it. I really hadn't. It was remarkable. It's still on Netflix if you want to see. Just go, I think it was like Skyscraper Live or something. Obviously, it's not live anymore, but it was live on Saturday. It was wild. Did you see it, Rob?
I did not. My timeline was all talking about it because it was the same time as the KUK State game, so I was, for better or worse, watching every dribble of that game. But I kept seeing people talk about this guy who's free climbing a building and how he was supposed to do it Friday, but weather, I believe it was in Taipei, weather made him push to Saturday night, and he just started free climbing a building. Then there's videos of people in like the, different rooms of the building waving to him. You can see the wind blowing. Like, you couldn't, I don't mind heights. I would literally never, ever, ever sign up for anything of that nature. I'd be dead if I did anything of that nature. I've never seen nothing
like this, man. People say I threw it straight at you, Rob. No, I'm just saying is like, Rob, you would agree you don't look overly buff. Like, you would think if you got the ability to climb this building, you would think that you are just rock solid. That's what I would think. But looks were deceiving. It was very, very deceiving. I was stunned. I was stunned to watch this happen. Rob, if you're wondering, yes, he was. I know you were wondering. I know you might not know. You might not have seen it. But I'm telling you right now, the answer is yes. He was absolutely.
There was absolutely no need to tell me that. I had a hunch he was more my side of America.
I wasn't even. You said that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying the answer was yes. If you were, what is this? I'm telling you the answer was yes. It did not stun me. If you had told me, hey, somebody's going to scale a building tomorrow on Netflix, I'd have been like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I know. You didn't have to tell me. I didn't need any more context clues. You gave me climb building. I didn't need anything else. I'm telling you, I would go on YouTube, go on Netflix, and I just want you to see it. It was remarkable. It really was. It was really remarkable. All right, coming up on the other side, you know what? I have 3 observations from the NFC Championship game that I think relay back to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 19.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
It's about time pros had one partner for the whole job. Why juggle 10 different suppliers when one can do it all? At the Home Depot, you'll save with pricing built for pros. You'll stay on track with job site deliveries, schedule, next day, or same day. And you'll get every size, every finish, every job lot quantity you need. One partner for the entire job. That's how pros get more done. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Midwest, winter 2026, Airman. Say, how's that utility bill? Even your level payment plan seems like it's tilting uphill? But wait, Airman here with some good news to re-level the playing field. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is now offering up to $1,400 in rebates on qualifying Lennox home comfort systems. But hold on, there's more. Midwest is also stepping up with 60 months 0% financing with approved credit. And the newest Lennox systems produce air that is more pure, run quieter, and are significantly more efficient. So much so that your new lower utility bill will seem like a late Christmas present. $1,400 rebate and 60 months at 0%. Now that's more like it. Go to MidwestHeating.com or dial 943-8787 for details. And as so many of your neighbors have for the past 7 decades, trust your air to the best. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can test your sports IQ in real time with Robinhood Prediction Markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions all game long. You know the game. Put it to use. Trade every play with Robinhood. Download the app today. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
For your big game party, you better pop into Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win. We've got thousands of bottles down every aisle, and prices so low they're gonna make you smile.
Drink responsibly, B21. Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Heading out of town this winter? Snow, ice, and cold temps are stressful enough. Airport parking shouldn't be. Park & Go makes it easy with online reservations, fast free shuttles, and all spots are covered to keep your car protected from winter weather. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, I have 3 observations, questions from the NFC Championship game. Now, Rob, I know you're going to laugh at me, and I know exactly who the kid is. I know what college he went to. I know exactly where he was drafted in the NFL draft, but for the life of me, I cannot pronounce his name. The safety, number 3 for Seattle, the kid that went to South Carolina, that was the 35th pick in last year's NFL draft. How do you pronounce his last name?
I wish I was more help here. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? Nick.
Yeah, Nick, the star.
Yeah.
The key to their whole defense is Nick.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. If the text line, if you could tell me 913-586-7965, I clearly know who he is. I just don't know how to pronounce the kid's name.
I feel like I've heard it different ways, but a man of worry?
For this, why don't we call him this? Nick E.
There you go.
That's who he is. Nick E. All right, why don't we go there? So this is what I want to ask you. Do you think he's better than any player Brett Veach has drafted? Because right now, if you think of every player that Brett Veach has drafted, and no, I'm not counting Mahomes. He was not the general manager when Mahomes was drafted. So I guess every player since 2018 then, if we want to be technical. If he was drafted by the Chiefs, do you think he'd be the best player that the Chiefs have drafted? Because I'm watching a kid. He looks like a star to me. Rob and I have been going back and forth with Spectre.
I said, me and you are on the same page here.
Rob and I have been going back and forth with Spectre for the last, 2 weeks or so. Rob and I are pro Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs is phenomenal. I think he's a phenomenal player. And if the Chiefs take him at 9, I will not be disappointed if that's who he takes. So we were talking earlier today. If you were telling me that Caleb Downs turns into this kid, will you live with it? And I said, absolutely. If you're telling me the Chiefs have that guy on their defense for the next decade or so, yes, sign me up. I think he is phenomenal. He looks like a future Hall of Fame player. He looks like he's going to define the position for the next 10 years or so. He is always around the football. Always. He is always in the center of what they got going on. He looks like he can cover. He can hit. He's flying around. He's making plays. I have had so much fun watching him these last couple of weeks. And I was just sitting back and I was wondering, because we give him Brett Veach a lot of credit for his draft classes. Do you think he's better than any player the Chiefs have drafted since 2018?
Listen, Nick, the text line starting to put some suggestions. Eamon Worry, I'm going to say, is going to be my go-to here. Eamon Worry is awesome.
Eamon Worry. Okay, I can practice that. Eamon Worry.
Eamon Worry is awesome.
He's amazing.
And I would be first team all draft Caleb Downs. You can guarantee Caleb Downs turns into Eamon Worry. I think Trent McDuffie is better than that kid. I don't think it's by a lot. And there's a lot more data left to be had by Eamon Worry, but I think Trent McDuffie, who undoubtedly was drafted by Brett Veach, is better than that guy. He also plays a more premium position, which I think has to matter here too. But I think that's the only player that I can definitively say Brett Veach drafted that guy, and that guy's better than Eamon Worry.
Okay, that was question number 1. I was just curious what you thought as I was watching the kid play, and I was very intrigued to see where you would take him. All right, the next question I have is, I think you and I, it sounds like we're on the same place when it comes to Xavier Worthy. I'm not giving up on Xavier Worthy. I would just say that I'm not sure if he has a relatively high ceiling. Like, I don't think that Worthy turns out to be a traditional number 2 receiver. Could he turn out to be a good player? Sure. He could absolutely turn out to be a really good, really productive, explosive, speedster kind of player. He absolutely could do that. I don't know if he has the ceiling where we're going to think in 2 years that it justifies where the Chiefs taking him in the draft. Let me ask you this, because I'm watching Seattle, and it looks like they have a version of Xavier Worthy on their team with Shaheed. Is that what we're talking about? Are we talking about for the next 2 years, whenever we talk about Xavier Worthy, we're going to feel like they have Shaheed on their team? Because I'm looking at him, and when he's been healthy, he has been an absolute playmaker, flying around the field, can do everything kind of guy, can help you in special teams, can help you in the pass game. I mean, this season, he had 59 catches for 700 yards and 2 touchdowns, and is maybe the best kick and punt returner in the National Football League. Is that what we're talking about now when we talk about Xavier Worthy? That he turns into Shaheed?
I would tell you right now that as far as the pure receiving, let's take the special teams out for a minute. I think Worthy and Shaheed are the same player, and I think if they're the same player, maybe we're saying the same thing here, just semantics, the Chiefs should start using Xavier Worthy on special teams. Because you're telling me the best year of Shaheed's career is what, 720 yards? I just looked it up. 715, 719, something like that. That's a very solid season. I think Xavier Worthy is capable of doing that in the NFL, but Shaheed is a weapon because he's more than just 700 yards. He's the most dangerous kick and punt returner in the league right now. Maybe he's second, third, whatever. We don't have to go through the rankings. He's dangerous. So Dave Toub, who to date has kept his job, I can't explain it, but he's kept his job. Maybe should start looking at Xavier Worthy as punt and kick return weapon, because if the Seahawks version of Shaheed is what Xavier Worthy becomes in his NFL career in his 5 years in Kansas City, I don't think anyone would call that a bust. But if he's not going to be a special teams guy, I think most Chiefs fans want him to have a better receiving record than Shaheed has in his career.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that has just been due to the fact of, and I'm not here to make excuses for Shaheed's career. It's really just come to, he's a really small guy, and it's just kind of hard to keep those guys healthy. I mean, he's not much bigger than Xavier Worthy. I mean, he is 6 foot 180. It's just hard to keep that guy healthy and available for 17 games. He also hasn't been in the best offensive system, you would say, over the last couple of years, that now you get a chance to join Seattle. They've got a great run game. They got a legitimate number 1. They got an experienced number 2 in Cooper Kupp, and they're asking you to kind of play your role, play your position, be a game-changing kind of guy, and also help in the special teams. Man, he's found a real role for them. He is an all-pro kick returner. You could argue right now he is the best special teams guy in the league right now, certainly in the conversation for best special teams guy in the league, and when he's healthy and as a receiver, this is basically what you're telling me you think Xavier Worthy can be. Like right now, if we put the poll out there, would you take next season for Xavier Worthy 59 catches for 687 yards and 2 touchdowns? I think more people than not take that with Xavier Worthy. Then that's who Shaheed is. It's exactly what he was 2 years ago in New Orleans. He was the same guy. 46 catches, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's a big play, speedster, jet sweep guy that can turn the course of the game. Now, the difference is Shaheed was an undrafted player that just got traded for a 3rd and a 4th round pick, and you spent a 1st round pick on Xavier Worthy. But I don't really see his ceiling being too much higher than what I think Shaheed's ceiling can be. That is thought number 2 that I had. Thought number 3, I don't got to spend a whole lot of time on this one. I would get those Kenneth Walker conversations out of your head. Kenneth Walker is not going to be a free agent. There is no chance you are letting Kenneth Walker go away, especially when your number 2 running back tore his ACL this season and Sam Darnold is your starting quarterback. You are not letting a 25-year-old potential top 10 back in the National Football League. You are not letting that guy just hit free agency at the end of the season. No chance. So I get it. I know Kenneth Walker's a lot of people. He's on their checklist. If I had asked you, hey, who would you like the Chiefs to go out to get? I know Breece Hall was a name that a lot of people really liked, and Kenneth Walker was another name that people really liked as an an unrestricted free agent. Let me clear it up. An unrestricted free agent for Kenneth Walker. He is getting the franchise tag or going back to Seattle next year. There's no chance they're letting him hit the open market next season. No chance. So I would just cross off a guy already. I would just cross him off the list of guys that you think could potentially join Kansas City this offseason.
I also think, I'm trying to find the tweet. I don't remember who tweeted it, so I apologize if I'm not crediting correctly. I'm pretty sure I saw the Seahawks are actually in a pretty good cap position. I think they have a bunch of cap space going into 2027. So if you're the Seahawks, you have cap space, you have no backup running back, and you've seen Kenneth Walker's value, I don't think Seattle is going to let that kid walk. I would love him in Kansas City. I would love Seattle to say, we can recreate Kenneth Walker. That'd be great. I don't anticipate that. So it's a nice dream, but we haven't even reached February yet, and I think the dream is dead.
You agree that radically changes the running back market because,
especially Breece Hall,
in my opinion, he was the best running back on the market.
The top end now is Breece Hall. That's number one.
We say the top end. There might be only two running backs that I would consider top end. I would consider Breece Hall to be top end. I would consider Travis Etienne to be top end. I like Rachaad White, but you ain't breaking the bank to pay Rachaad White. That really might be it. There might be three good running backs in this running back pool.
I disagree with good. I think that was the top end, most expensive guys.
Who else would you? I'm still looking at the market right now. So these are top free agents.
I would take Kenneth Gainwell right now on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would too. But I mean, I'm not paying that guy, though.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are good players in the running back pool, but I think the expensive guys are Breece Hall. I agree with you. I don't think Rachaad White's going to be expensive. I think Etienne's going to be too expensive for the Chiefs based on his production. So I think there's two expensive guys, but there are value players like Kenneth Gainwell.
I mean, no, you and I are on the same part with Kenneth Gainwell. If they sign Kenneth Gainwell to a deal, I will not be mad. And the contract you're paying Kenneth Gainwell, we're not going to be mad. That's a productive running back. He ran for 4.7 yards per carry last year. If you gave him 160 carries next year at 27 years old, I would not be mad if that's who they ended up getting. But I mean, I think we agree there is a big difference between him and who I would consider to be the top two backs. Breece Hall and Travis Etienne, those are legitimate home run kind of swings. I think Etienne, I think he perfectly fits what the Chiefs would like to do. That's the kind of running back that they just love. A speedster guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield, do a little bit of everything, incredibly versatile. I think that's what they like. And then I would say after those two, I would say there's a pretty big dip in production from the kind of guys you think you're going to get. Rachaad White's a good player. Rico Dowdle's fine. Kenneth Gainwell, there's maybe 4 or 5 running backs you'd be interested in free agency if the way that things are kind of turning.
Yeah, I also think, and we will have time this offseason to talk about it, because the top end now, especially two guys, I wonder if those two guys are too expensive for the Chiefs' blood. Or at least, let me rephrase that, too expensive for what I want the Chiefs spending on running back this offseason. I think that if the Chiefs break the bank at running back, I'm going to be very upset. You can draft a third-round player, pick a name, let's just say the kid from Nebraska, just for the sake of it. You can draft Emmett Johnson from Nebraska in the 3rd round, sign Kenneth Gainwell, have Gainwell, Smith, and Johnson in 2026, and your running back room is light years better. But I do agree, with Walker off the board, the big money deal is going to go to Breece Hall. I don't want the Chiefs in the big money deal conversation at running back.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If they sign Breece Hall to this James Cook contract, I would not be upset. Now, I know you will be upset. James Cook got 4 years for $46 million. He got $9 million to sign and got 28 guaranteed. It's basically a 2-year contract. Now, he's 100% locked in for 2025. He was worth it in 2025. He's locked in for 2026. And then once you get to 2027, it allows you the opportunity to restructure that deal, or you can get out of it if something goes terribly wrong, and you save money each year by cutting him on the back end. Where James Cook got his money up front, getting $28 million. That's good money if you're a running back. But yeah, I would not have a problem. If you're telling me the Chiefs signed Breece Hall on day 1 of free agency, and he signs the exact same kind of contract as James Cook, that he's basically under contract for the next 2 years for Kansas City, for this, I will not be upset if that ends up being the case. His cap hit for Buffalo is $3.4 and $5.8 million. You just got to pay the signing bonus and have the cash to guarantee him, and that obviously is what changes it. But yeah, I would say Breece Hall is very much still realistically an option in Kansas City, and I don't have I would guess he's near the top of their list a guy you were interested in trading for in the offseason. You didn't trade from him. He's from the area, Big 12 guy, and you can get him for something that can realistically fit your salary cap. I would just guess that Breece Hall is very, very high on their list of guys they would like to go after. And if you're him, you got a chance to come play in a much better offense and have a chance to win for the first time in your career. That's a really big positive, I think, to go get Breece Hall. All right, coming up on the side, let's talk a little bit of college basketball. Missouri hit not one but two buzzer beaters. And speaking of beaters, Kansas, they put a hurting on K-State. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is taxes.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
Lowe's knows how to turn big plans into real results. Whether it's new appliances or a home refresh, get started with 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more with a MyLowe's Rewards credit card, January 15th through the 30th. So you can invest in your upgrade now and pay over time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payment required. See store or Lowe's.com for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
This is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford. Fresh off a record-breaking year and a successful run at Ford's 2025 Top Volume Award. Rob, how did you do it?
Kevin, it's simple. We pulled out all the stops on price, on trade values, on inventory, and made sure our customers got an experience they couldn't find anywhere else.
Well, the race isn't over. 2026 is here, and you're back in the chase again.
That's right, and we're going even harder this year. More inventory, more aggressive trade-in values, and a buying experience other dealers just can't match.
Well, you're not just talking, you've got the receipts. Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in Kansas City by KC Magazine.
The recognition matters, but what actually matters is how you feel when you call or visit Rob Seid Ford.
Inventory, value, transparency, and no pressure. That's why people keep coming back.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit us online at robsight.com.
Rob Seid Ford. Buy right. Drive happy.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've still got the problem, Lee Summit, 50 westbound as you approach 470. Scoot to the left through here. Overland Park, that's a stall blocking part of the right lane. 35 southbound on the ramp to 69. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, let's talk some college basketball here. Rob, you want to talk about KU now, or you want to talk about KU after we talk about Missouri? There really ain't too much more to talk about with Missouri other than, man, it just felt good to be on the right side of those. For my Mizzou fans out there, you know how many Saturday afternoons they have ruined for you against a team that you don't think is very good. I don't think Oklahoma is very good. But I'm sitting there, and honestly, I felt like Oklahoma outplayed Missouri for most of the day. I think they outplayed Missouri. Now, shout out to T.O. Barrett, who played the best game he's had at a Missouri uniform. But it was the same mistakes that have frustrated you all year. Now, I don't know if this Missouri team is going to make the tournament or not. I mean, they are the definition of a bubble team. They are going to be on the bubble all year. Every time they take one step forward, they end up taking one step back, and they end up every week in the exact same spot that they were in. But you cannot afford, if you're trying to make the NCAA tournament, to lose a home game to Oklahoma. That is a bad basketball team. That is not going anywhere. I'm sitting there and I'm mad. I mean, I'm planning on having a good day, man. I got all the snacks I need. I plan on watching just television, and having a nice couple of days in the snow. When they were down 3 with 10 seconds to go, I'm mad. I'm like, bro, I can't believe they did this to me. Next thing you know, Trent Pierce, who hadn't hit a shot all day from the state logo, he hit it from like where St. Genevieve is. Bang, nothing but the bottom of the net. I'm like, okay, all right, let's go to overtime. At this moment, I placed a nice wager on Missouri. I'm feeling good. I'm in the house all day. Got nothing else to do. Let's make a little bit of money. I'm sitting there and I'm sweating it the whole overtime. They can't buy a bucket, can't make free throws, fouling, typical Missouri basketball. And I'm sitting there thinking, why did I do this? Like, why did I do this? Next thing you know, they're down 2. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I mean, it happens, right? He who gambles lives in shambles. Next thing I know, their worst three-point shooter pulls up from the boot hill and then just nothing but net. They won the game. I'm just, oh my goodness. It just felt so good for Missouri to be on the right side of those. I've seen Missouri. If you're a Missouri fan, you know you've seen them lose some of the most ridiculous games, football or basketball, in your life. Sure, they beat Oklahoma at home. I'm not raising a banner for it, but just the joy of watching them win that kind of game and not being mad and knowing that now another team's got a – right before that, John Sumvold is talking about how Oklahoma's planning to stay for the weekend. The fact that they had to stay in Columbia till Sunday night, thinking about how they should have fouled at the end of the second half and how they let Mark Mitchell hit a game-winning 3 against them when he shoots 19% from 3. It did warm my heart. It really did. It warmed my heart to see Missouri win that way. That's number one. I know you didn't watch any of the Mizzou game, and that's okay.
I saw both buzzer beaters.
Okay, all right. In real time or on
real
highlights?
Real time for the second one.
All right, I see you out here.
I saw the first one on social media. I'm like, oh, they're going to overtime. So I flipped over.
Yeah, you had to watch it then.
Then I watched the overtime, and I was like, I shouldn't have flipped over. And then Mark Mitchell, the game winner. I mean this, not trolling, not trying to be mean. If they had lost that game, their NCAA tournament hopes were dead. It was over.
Why can't we talk positive?
But you know what? They won the game. That's the positive. They still, I haven't seen Lenardi's most recent one. I bet they're in that first 4 out. You can easily, on January 26th, if you are Lenardi's first 4 out in the SEC, play your way into the tournament. That win, you hope, as a Missouri fan, if you're a Tiger fan listening, you're hoping you parlay that emotional high and at some sort of pivot point in the SEC play, and you can harness the games you had against Georgia, Oklahoma, and Florida, and start doing that consistently, because games like LSU are devastating for a program that is fighting to be on the bubble.
Let's talk about Kansas and Kansas State. The number one takeaway that I have is I don't care if Darren Peterson plays in this game or not. Is he going to play next Saturday? That's the game we all want him to play. You didn't play against Duke earlier. You didn't play in Vegas. If you can't play for the home game against BYU, against the potential other number one pick, what are we doing here? I'm going to start fighting for UKU fans to get your NIL money back if he can't play in the BYU game. So it sounds like Bill said he's going to play. So, okay, let's move on. Darren didn't play. We don't got to talk about him. But I'm telling you, I'm going to be very upset if Darren Peterson doesn't play on Saturday. I very rarely have a Kansas basketball game circled. This is one to have circled. These are the two best players in college basketball. I want to see him play. So let's go and put it to the side. Number 2, K-State fan. You know what I don't want to hear over the next 2 months? I don't want to hear that you guys don't have the money to let Jerome Tang go. I don't want to hear it. But the buyout, I don't want to hear it. Please don't talk to me about the buyout. Did you see what just happened to you guys? Kansas came into your building and had absolutely no respect for you as a program. None. In the last 3 minutes of the game, it turned into and one mixtape. They're doing behind-the-back wraparound passes, alley-oops, dunks. They were kicking your back in your building. It is -1 degree outside. You brave the elements to go to the one important basketball game that you have for the rest of the year. Kansas knows this, and they made it a point to make it a miserable experience for you. And then, after they are done kicking you back in the way that they did, one of their best players starts doing your dance, mocking you at midcourt. Come on, K-State fan. Come on now. What's happening? What's going on? Embarrassing effort. Now, I'm not here encouraging violence. I'm serious. I'm not here to encourage violence. But you would not have done that to a Frank Martin team. A Frank Martin team, one of these needs to be a hard foul. Somebody's got to get pushed. There's got to cause some skirmish. Kansas was running the score up on you guys in your building. They're mocking your tradition. And then one of their best players, former McDonald's All-American, then records a video of them mocking you in your own locker room. Mocking you. Bill in the back just laughing, just having a good old time laughing at your expense. Come on, K-State fan. Y'all got to be better than this. You got to be better than what I saw on Saturday. They outscored you guys 49-27 in the final 20. It was a game at halftime. It was 37-35. And then they came out and just grabbed the belt and just, you going to get this work today. I can't. K-State, I'm serious. I've never been more serious about this, K-State fan. Put this on Go Power Cat or whatever blog you got. If Jerome Tang is the head coach of Kansas State basketball next season, we will not talk about your team all next year. You're not serious. We shouldn't talk about you. You shouldn't come up. We don't need to have your players on. We don't need to have your, we don't need to, we're not talking about, I don't care what games the radio station comes on. If you keep that man employed, we cannot discuss. You're not serious. All the other teams that we talk about, they're trying to win. Your football team's trying. Your baseball team's trying. Your women's basketball team, we have their coach on, Jeff Mitty. We support K-State athletics. I can't support that. We can't have our name and our brand attached to what I saw on Saturday. They were doing, They were doing Harlem. They treated you like you were the generals in the final 3 minutes of the game. Y'all embarrassed for your basketball program? You're not embarrassed? You can't dig in your pocket and come up with a little bit of money to donate to get that man out of here. He's got to go. He's got to go. That's all I got, K-State fan. It was embarrassing. It really was. It was embarrassing.
I'd love to come on here and gloat, and I can because Kansas just smoked them. But I have K-State friends, and they were texting me mad. They weren't mad that K-State lost. KU's a better team. They were going to win. Life goes on. Kansas clowned you on the court.
Embarrassed you.
By the way, there's other videos, different angles. Melvin Council was dancing from the under 4 media timeout on. He was letting everyone know, you guys suck. We came in here and we smoked you. How do the players in the court not have any personal pride? If you're PJ Haggerty, if you're David Castillo, if you're Taj Manning, if you're one of the guys who's donning the K-State purple and you're watching a guy in a Kansas jersey, who, by the way, it's not like he's a 5-year Kansas player. He's been at Kansas for 15 minutes. If he's on your court clowning you, clowning your team, clowning your fan base, and basically clowning your coach who jumps in the stands and does that dance after the game,
embarrass you.
You got to foul him. You can't let him dunk. You can't let him throw oops. You can't let him hit an NBA 3 uncontested in the last minutes of the game. You got to show a little personal pride. I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's the fan base. I don't know if the players just tuned out. I don't know. But Melvin Council and co., they had a party. They had a party for 4 minutes on the floor, humiliating the Cats, and it seemed like no one. The only person that cared was Bill Self, who kept trying to get Council to stop, but he was having too much fun clowning them.
Yeah. No, you want to know why? Because Bill's really good at this. Bill's really good at, we want to appear like we're sportsmen while not being sportsmen. Bill was loving it. Bill realizes Bill might not have too many nights in Bramlage Coliseum. And, you know, what goes around comes around. I remember K-State games when they had a chance to win and they're doing windmill dunks. And, hey, it was great. It's college basketball. Bill remembers those kind of things, and it's a rivalry. They were dancing on Jerome Tang's grave, dancing on it. And then here's Jerome, just at the end of the game, just, hey, man, just you got any thoughts, any words? Listen to this. He sounds like a defeated man.
You know, I don't know that you need, like, motivation for these kind of games. You know, like we thought, okay, since we got a bunch of new guys, do we need to tell them about this rivalry and all that kind of stuff? But, I mean, the guys who were here did a good job of that. You never want to see anybody celebrate on your court. It sucks to see them do it. Like, really, really sucks to see them do it. I haven't experienced that before, and it is not a good feeling, not at all.
Okay. Hey, K-State, good luck, man. I don't know how much more K-State basketball we got talking about the rest of the year. I know the football's winding down. We'll figure it out. But I don't know if your team can fill the content void that we're about to have. You're 10-10, you're 1-6 in Big 12 play, and you got dead coach walking. I don't know if we can. I don't know if that's something we can co-sign on this show. I can't participate in that. My team's got its own problems. Rob's team has its own problems. They don't know if their best player is going to play on a week-in, week-out basis. Hey, wake us up when you guys start a coaching search. We'll be all over it. But talking about, it's just no. Good luck to you guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Good luck. Good luck to you guys on what you got going on. But we got to opt out. We got to opt out of the terms and conditions of what you guys got going on for the rest of the way. All right, let's get back to the AFC Championship game. Let's get back to Sean Payton. Sean Payton was asked about his decision to go for it on fourth down in the second quarter. So it was 4th and 1 from the New England 14-yard line. You can kick a 31-yard field goal and take a 10-0 lead. Now, the weather was not great in the early part of the game. The weather would have allowed you to kick a 31-yard field goal, but no, Sean Payton is Sean Payton. He went for it. It didn't work. Here's what he said.
Yeah, I just felt like, man, we had momentum to get up 14. It felt like we had a good call. And where were we at yard line-wise there? Yeah, I think the feeling was, man, let's be aggressive. You know, to get up 14. I was just watching the way our defense was playing, and you know, the turnover on our end, resulting in a touchdown. And outside of that, man, I thought we did a good job in containing them. There'll be a number of things when we watch the tape I'll look at and critique and pay close attention to. But it was a hard-fought game, and we didn't do enough to win it.
Kick field goals. That's really the message. Kick field goals. There's nothing wrong with taking 3 points. When you think about it, whenever you start a possession, a touchdown's ideal. Yeah, you want to score touchdowns. There's only one other way to score. There's not a bunch of different ways to score. You score a touchdown, you kick a field goal. Why do coaches hate one of the other ways that you score points? I think Denver wins that game if they kick the field goal. I do. I think they win. I think if they're up 10-0, I think if you continue to put the pressure on, I think it is a completely different ball game, and I think Denver wins. I think that Denver started feeling themselves because of how they started the game. Jarrett Stidham made a big-time throw, made a great throw, and I think if they kick the field goal, they're up 10-0. The pressure is then on the Patriots. Oh, my God, we're going to lose to Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship game. I think it changes it. For the last, I would say, 15 minutes, I don't even think the Patriots were trying to score. I don't think they were trying to score. I think at that point, they had run out of any confidence in that Broncos defense or offense, and they were happy to be on defense and happy to just cause 3 and outs for the final fourth quarter of the game. I just kick field goals. I know that analytics tells you to be aggressive and go for it, and you got to try to maximize touchdown drives. No, sometimes taking a profit, especially in a game that we knew was going to be a low-scoring rock fight. That game had 16-13 energy when I didn't know how bad the weather was going to be. I didn't think that game was going to be played into the 20s. That game was going to be a low-scoring mid-teens. It was the same. It played out exactly how I thought it was going to play. If you got points right there, why would you not take them? I thought it was a massive, massive mistake. And we spend a lot of time talking about analytics and how aggressive it is. You guys got to show me this coach that's super aggressive on fourth downs is winning championships. Because I don't see him. Who is this coach? Is the Dan Campbell way working? Are you winning championships like this? Is the Ben Johnson go for it on fourth downs? Is that working? Sean Payton is great as Sean Payton. Sean Payton hasn't won a Super Bowl since 2008, 2009. How long ago has it been since the Saints went to that Super Bowl, the one with Drew Brees? It's been a long time ago. I get it. We all grew up playing Madden, and it was cool to be aggressive on fourth downs. I think we tell the story too much about what happens if you get these things right. And yeah, everybody wants to convert them. I don't think we tell the story nearly enough about how missing these fails. And like when you fail, when you don't get it, what it normally means. And you guys know I'm a big believer that football games are defined by 5 to 8 plays. I would say this game was defined by even less. This game was defined really by 2 plays. And the Broncos were the beneficiary of the Patriots, The Patriots were the beneficiary of both of those plays. The Jarrett Stidham fumble and the decision to not kick the field goal. The Patriots made both of those plays. They ended up winning a game that it wasn't a whole lot of fireworks.
I think the analytics will bear out, and I know I'm going to sound like an idiot here, but the analytics will bear out the going for it system more often than not is successful over the long term. Ben Johnson had his team in overtime from making the NFC Championship game. The system clearly works. Dan Campbell was in the NFC Championship game. I know everyone likes to point to, well, he went for on that fourth down. That's why they lost. They lost because his player had interception and just dropped it, and it became a touchdown. The exact same play. He had an interception, dropped, touchdown. I do think going for it and all these things, it matters. It's important, and I think it's the right call. But I think, and maybe I've been wrong to doubt Andy Reid, because Andy Reid always talks about how, he listens to the analytics people, but it's a gut feeling. I think the gut feeling part is important. Sean Payton was listening to the numbers, and the numbers will say go for it. But the numbers didn't account for the fact that a snowstorm was coming.
But where are these numbers coming from? This is the thing. Nobody can explain to me where are these numbers coming from, and then what's the negative? Like, The number, what is this based on? Is this based out of 100 times that you do it? Because you don't get 100 times to go for fourth down over the course of, you get 8 possessions in a game like this, 9 possessions of the game, and this one play can decide things. So I'm not saying what you're wrong, but I hear this all the time. Oh, you got to go by the book. You got to go by the numbers. Do we have any clue of where these numbers are coming from and how are we computing these numbers? Like, I feel like now in this era of sports, we have just turned ourselves over to the math without being able to understand where the math comes from. We have turned ourselves over to charts and analytics without really having an ability to understand or break down. It doesn't make any sense to me why we say these things when it comes to you got to trust the math and trust the numbers. Where are we basing the numbers off of that tell you it is in your best interest to not kick a field goal in the second quarter of the game to take a 2-score lead in the game, and it is better for you to roll the dice and potentially go forward and risk getting no points on the drive?
I do not have the source for the numbers. I would bet the people in the analytics department are crunching numbers of every outcome, every variable, all these things, but I do not have the answer for where the numbers come from. But all these NFL teams have massive analytics departments. I can't imagine they're just pulling these numbers out of pure thin air.
No, I agree with you. All I'm saying is I just hear that we are so reliant on this computer algorithm from ESPN, and none of us can explain what this computer algorithm is. When we sit there and we watch it and it says ESPN analytics tell you that you should go for it 51% of the time, nobody can explain to me what that is based on. So I just feel like we have all just turned over our football logic to football GPT, and we have now completely disregarded what we know about football, which what I know about football is when you got a backup quarterback and you have all the momentum, why would you do anything that could possibly put the momentum in the hand of the New England Patriots? They had none of it. They were playing terrible for the first 20 minutes of the game. And what got them back in it was that stretch. That's what got them right back in it, was stopping you on fourth down. I know the guy missed kicks later. The weather had changed. The weather was fine. And you were going to make a 31-yard field goal, in my opinion. You had if we look at the percentages, what percentage do NFL kickers make 35 and in? They probably make 98%. You had a 98% chance, we would think, at making field goals there. You got to take the points in that scenario. You got to take the points. Coming up at the top of the hour, you know what? I watched UFC this weekend. I'll talk to you about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Well, it's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one final kickoff, your final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is the 60th Super Bowl, and FanDuel is making sure that you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, maybe you're riding with the underdog, or you're building that last same-game parlay. So whether you're betting the spread, who's going to win MVP, or who you think's going to find the end zone, FanDuel's got you covered for this year's Super Bowl. Make it count, because after the Super Bowl, it's done. Finito. So it's your last call for football this season on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. And visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook and the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued non-withdrawal bonus. Sorry, 7th Street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Lowe's knows how to turn big plans into real results. Whether it's new appliances or a home refresh, get started with 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more with a MyLowe's Rewards credit card, January 15th through the 30th. So you can invest in your upgrade now and pay over time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payment required. See store or Lowe's.com for details.
When you choose CertaPro Painters, you're not just hiring a service, you're partnering with a trusted local professional with over 70,000 five-star reviews to make your house feel like home. And that's exactly why we chose CertaPro Painting for all of our painting needs, and why our friends and family have done the same. Each CertaPro painter is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Certa Pro Painters.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues with UFC 325 live from Australia. Catch featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski in a rematch of his epic title fight against Diego Lopez, and the always dangerous Dan Hooker throws down with dynamic finisher Benoit Saint Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown. UFC fans, pay-per-view just got knocked out. Catch UFC 325 on Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus. Stream every fight live with one subscription. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, a Wix filter, and a $15 gift card after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, for the most part, the roads don't look too bad. Traffic is pretty light. We do have the stalls still blocking part of the right shoulder. 70 westbound at Blue Ridge Cutoff. Overland Park, that stall still there blocking part of the right lane. 35 southbound on the ramp to 69. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
See, this is the part about it, Rob. So someone texted this in. Come on, CDOT, 2 things can be true at once. The analytic numbers come from all the accumulative attempts telling you when to go for it. Is it successful? A certain criteria that can help you get a touchdown and maximize your percentages. But this is what I mean. How does Kansas City going forward in this scenario help the Browns? So when we see these numbers on television, Rob, they're only from that individual team? That's what I mean. I think we have given ourselves up to analytics without fully understanding what it means. And also, if you're saying 51% of the time something is successful, we also got to live with the 49% of the times if you miss it, you lose in these scenarios. That means you lose the AFC Championship game. That means you're done. I think if the Lions had played things more conservatively a couple of years ago, I think they go to the first Super Bowl in their entire franchise's history. So, yeah, we can go by they played it by the books and they played the analytics. I think that was the best chance the Lions had ever had. So you don't get 100 chances in the NFC Championship game in the fourth quarter to go for it on 4th down. Jarrett Stidham didn't get a whole bunch of chances from the 15-yard line. So to me, I just think we're randomly throwing percentages out there, which the percentages are always going to be in the favor of, quote, being aggressive. But somebody has to tell me who is the coach and who is the team that is playing football in this analytical style that you also think is something that you should emulate. That's not what Andy Reid does. That's not what Bill Belichick did. The Patriots were not an aggressive, let's go for it on 4th down kind of team. That's not what Kansas City is. So I would say the Eagles are only aggressive because they figured out a glitch of a play. They figured out a cheat. They exploited 4th downs. So, yeah, hearing these percentages, that there's a lot more questions that I have when it comes to these analytics and if they work and if they don't work. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to hear from Andy Reid. We're also going to get a little bit of a stadium update from the Kansas City Royals. But before we do that, Rob, I don't know if you watched the UFC fight or not. I don't really have too much interest of talking to you specifically about the UFC fight, but I do have interest in talking to you about this. I would have never watched that fight if not for Paramount Plus. Never. Now, I don't know how many people are signing up to Paramount Plus because of that, but it honestly would get me to sign up for it. It's already not that expensive. There's a lot of other stuff that I like on Paramount Plus that give you the ability to watch some other things. And you're telling me that before, to watch this fight, it would have been $59.99, $69.99, whatever it is for UFC people. I know it wasn't cheap to watch it. That now, already with the membership that I already pay, I can now watch these UFC fights. You can sign me up for watching these UFC fights in the future. I did want to watch it. I know who that Derek White guy is. I've seen him a couple times in some fights, and I always liked his personality. You're telling me now I can watch him at no additional charge, and I got to pull up a website and get through I don't want to do all that. I don't care that much about the UFC to do all that. But right there on the Fire Stick, right there on the Paramount Plus app. So I imagine the diehards were paying for these pay-per-views anyway, and UFC has gotten incredibly popular. I'm telling you that them doing a deal like this with Paramount Plus for the casuals like myself, you will get me to become a fan of UFC. You will get me to watch all of these pay-per-views because now it just doesn't take any work to be able to watch them. They have made it so much easier than before.
It is a win. Sports streaming services are a win for sports like UFC or boxing. They're on the pay-per-view model. Because I think we can kind of say the pay-per-view model is kind of a dinosaur. Like, you are a bigger boxing fan than me, but am I going to spend? You got to get a real big fight for me to spend $59.99 to watch boxing. Like, Netflix gave me Jake Paul for free. I mean, I guess it's on my Netflix already. Whatever. Paramount Plus. I have Paramount Plus. You're giving me UFC for free.
You already pay for it. Yeah. That's why people are like, oh, you pay for Netflix. Well, yeah, I was paying for Netflix to watch television shows, and then included in the subscription, you gave me all these other things. Like, but trust me, I do not have Netflix because they show 2 NFL games a year. I have Netflix because I like the television shows and movies that they have, and now included in it, they have now given me these other things.
I will say it's good for those sports. I still don't like that it's successful because it means that all your sports are probably headed there more
for sure.
Sooner than later. Like, I'm not cheering against the UFC. I don't want to come off like I'm anti the UFC. But I wish people like you, the casuals, and I would even say I'm less than a casual, wouldn't go to Paramount Plus to watch this event because it's not long before the NBA, NFL, they just look at this and go, well, if UFC is getting people to these platforms, our sports are more popular than that sport.
I just don't think we can do anything about that.
I think we're stuck.
A couple years ago, you and I were on the same page when it comes to this. I just don't think we could do anything about it. All of these sports have told us that we want to be in bed with the streamers. That's what they told us. Thursday Night Football sold to Amazon. NBA package sold. They're going to have the conference finals on Amazon Prime in the NBA. All of these streamers, all of these have told you, we think this is where young people are, and we are willing to chop off the older fan that maybe doesn't know how to navigate this thing because the 31-year-old now understands streaming, already has all of these stuff, and wants to spend money on it. So I'll be very curious to see long-term how this model works for UFC and what this means for Paramount Plus in pushing people over there. But I'm just telling you, as a casual fan that knows very little about UFC and does not follow it, the only reason I watched that is because it was already on Paramount Plus. And you're already promoting it. The app is its own. Hey, I'm watching NFL games, and you're telling me on this app that I already have a pay-per-view fight's going to be on there. All right, I'll give it a chance. I watched a couple of fights. I liked it. I saw a guy get knocked out. Great. And I went on about my life. Yes, a big fan. I was a big fan of it, and I'm very curious to see how it grows on Paramount Plus, which it feels like, and again, I don't know, it feels to me like they are building towards 4th of July. Like they have something big planned for 4th of July to get us to watch, which sign me up. I think it sounds cool. Them doing an event at the White House sounds cool. Politics aside, that sounds cool to me and something I will tune in for.
It'll definitely be a spectacle. And I've heard podcast clips and snippets where Dana White's talking about it. It sounds like will be a thing we have never seen before. But I will be the last one fighting this fight, and I don't care. I will be the guy with the sword fighting the army from Game of Thrones. Sports should not be moving to streaming services. I don't like that my
I agree.
games are
I'm just telling you that's what they are.
I know.
You and I want the same thing. I would love for sports to be how it was for you and I growing up. I would love for kids to be able to turn on ABC and NBC and CBS and be able to watch these games, or just regular cable. One of the reasons why Michael Jordan was so popular, the reason we love the Atlanta Braves and Chipper Jones, man, I could just watch Michael Jordan on WGN. I could just watch the Braves on TBS. The people that make these decisions have told us that's not what they want sports to be. Sure, they'll give you a little bit of sports on there, but their goal is to try to squeeze as much money out of their product as possible, and these streamers have told you we got the money. They told you we got the money. So, yeah, you and I are fighting the same fight. I don't make it seem like you and I are on different pages. You and I are on the same fight. But I'm telling you, they don't care about me and you, and they are going to get every single dollar out of streamers that they can. More of these things are going to streamers. If this works in UFC, if we get a story in 6 months that Paramount Plus is now up 400% in subscriptions and they can attribute it to UFC, you are going to see more and more of these companies, more and more of these sports services go over to streaming because it's working. So if you're a Peacock and you've already started to dabble a little bit, why would you not continue to do it? Why would you not do it? The one thing we need to worry about, and we haven't talked about a whole lot, baseball is going to this. Like right now, baseball, in my opinion, I think in 3 years, I think you are going to see that their version of Sunday Ticket, or what, Extra Innings is what it's called? Extra Innings is going to be on Apple TV. That's what I think. I think you're going to have to buy Apple TV in order to watch your favorite baseball team. I do not think it'll be available local anymore.
I think it'll be like the MLS, where it's like, I agree. You get the package, you could pick your individual team, but you are now through Apple TV, whomever. You're right. I think that is the future. I think if baseball gets its way, I know we're up against a break, and Rob Manfred, centralizes the rights, I think he's going to sell them to Amazon or someone.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get to the Kansas City Chiefs. They spoke today. Andy Reid talked about the hiring of Eric Bieniemy. We'll get to it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5, The Fan.
Okay, you are dealing with a multi-car crash now coming out of downtown, 35 southbound just before 18th. It's the right lane blocked. Scoot to the left to get through here. A Riverside, that stall still blocking the right lane. 29 southbound just past 169 highway, and backups are building. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Lowe's knows how to turn big plans into real results. Whether it's new appliances or a home refresh, get started with 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more with a MyLowe's Rewards credit card, January 15th through the 30th. So you can invest in your upgrade now and pay over time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payment required. See store or Lowe's.com for details.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Heading out of town this winter? Snow, ice, and cold temps are stressful enough. Airport parking shouldn't be. Park & Go makes it easy with online reservations, fast free shuttles, and all spots are covered to keep your car protected from winter weather. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew a Halloween costume would change my life and lead me to Renner Garage Door? Renner's KC's go-to team for service, repair, and replacement.
RENNER, RENNER.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me.
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker. Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
There's never been anything like this.
UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Now get a small coffee, just 99 cents. Limited time only. See store for details.
This is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford. Fresh off a record-breaking year and a successful run at Ford's 2025 Top Volume Award. Rob, how did you do it?
Kevin, it's simple. We pulled out all the stops on price, on trade values, on inventory, and made sure our customers got an experience they couldn't find anywhere else.
Well, the race isn't over. 2026 is here, and you're back in the chase again.
That's right, and we're going even harder this year. More inventory, more aggressive trade-in values, and a buying experience other dealers just can't match.
Well, you're not just talking, you've got the receipts. Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in Kansas City by KC Magazine.
The recognition matters, but what actually matters is how you feel when you call or visit Rob Seid Ford.
Inventory, value, transparency, and no pressure. That's why people keep coming back.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit us online at robsight.com.
Rob Seid Ford. Buy right. Drive happy.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Where can you find an extensive line of Blue Demon welding supplies, filler, rods, and wire? Metal by the Foot, located in Casey and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Hey Royals fans, it's Vern and the Hot Stove Show is back Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to get the latest on Jackson County's pursuit of a new stadium for the Kansas City Royals. But let's hear from head coach Andy Reid. Andy Reid met with the media today. You guys know that the Chiefs have made a hire. They have hired Eric Bieniemy to come back as the offensive coordinator. Andy Reid was asked who else was interviewed in the offensive coordinator process. Here's what he said.
No, I did talk to him. You know, EB was in the playoffs, so I wasn't able to talk to him until after he was done there. So, but had to make a move faster. A lot of openings here, Sam. And so, if one guy's going one direction, you got to make sure that you can fill that position and do it as quickly as you possibly can. So, at the same time, was still being able to talk to others. So, to answer your question, yes, I did talk to other people.
Am I the only one that really wants to know who else they interviewed in the offensive coordinator process? I know that everybody's happy the EB's here, and I know I've been labeled as the EB hater. It's odd to me how secretive it's been about this. I would love to just know the philosophy of who was interested, who did they talk to, who turned them down. Like, this was super close to the vest. We have only seen one name attached to this job. It's very, very surprising. Maybe it's just me being nosy. I don't know, but it is very surprising. They won't even tell you who else they interviewed for the job. Like, they're keeping it that close to the vest. Yeah, I mean, we ended up getting who we got. That's it. Yeah, we interviewed other people. Who? They won't tell you. It's interesting. All right, here is Andy Reid talking about the play calling process that he is going to have with Eric Bieniemy. I think we know what the process is, but let's hear him say it anyway.
Yeah, so listen, I mean, I still enjoy calling plays, but what I do is I'm not afraid to delegate and get opinions from people, and then even in certain situations, letting them go ahead and call things in different areas. So we do this jointly. I mean, I keep it open, and I felt that that's the best way. I want guys that contribute. I want them to work hard and be expert in their area, as in, and then cumulative in all areas. So it's I've always mixed and matched there, I guess I'd tell you, Matt, and it seemed to have been fairly productive.
You buying that? Are you a believer in that? What are you saying?
Yes and no. I mean, in that similar way, he said, remember, I think it was the 2015 playoffs, and they lose in New England, and afterwards there was scrutiny about how slow the offense was moving, and he was like, well, Doug was calling those plays. Talking about Doug Peterson. I do think he delegates sometimes who calls the plays, but I think when the game's on the line, Andy Reid has final say-so. So I both do and don't believe him all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think who calls the plays is a little bit overblown, because I think one of the easiest things to blame as a fan is who the offensive coordinator is. Like, it's just an easy thing to kind of pick at. Everybody thinks they can be an offensive coordinator. Like, everybody thinks they can dial up play and scheme, and it's the easiest thing to criticize. So I think in some ways we kind of oversell. Now, do I think that Andy Reid has called 100% of the plays since he's been here? No, I do believe him that it's collaborative. I do believe that it is multiple people that are involved in the scheming and implementation. I do believe all of those things. I think he's telling the truth there. I mean, Eric Bieniemy, you've been doing this for a while. I think EB has some say in the offense and how the offense goes. Now, I don't think that the buck stops with him. I don't think anyone thinks that, where I think there are other scenarios where the offensive coordinator, the buck absolutely stops with them. Mike Vrabel is not calling the offensive plays for the Patriots. We know who's calling the offensive plays. So I do think in that way, like, you kind of know who should be in charge of these things. But yeah, I think Andy's been doing this enough. And I think Andy has been doing this with guys that he trusts. Like, if you're EB, if you don't trust me to call individual drives or come in and give you my opinion, why do you think I should be here? So I actually do believe what he's saying. I actually do buy into this, and I do think that it is – Andy probably has less control than we think he has over the offense. Like, I think the perception is that he kind of just controls everything. But I think it's probably like 85%, 80%. I can see him empowering Matt Nagy. I can see him empowering Eric Bieniemy, especially that last year. Like, I firmly believe the Chiefs were doing everything they could to try to get Eric Bieniemy a job his last year here. I think they were doing everything publicly and privately to try to get him a job, and it just didn't work out.
I think 85% right. I think it's the same with any head coach that has a play sheet. Like, I don't know the name of the offensive coordinator right now in San Francisco, but I'm imagining it's very similar. It's collaborative. He has input, but at the end of the day, if Kyle Shanahan says this, Kyle Shanahan runs the show. I think that's kind of how it feels with every play calling head coach in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think that that's wrong. Like, I think about, like, the power on the show. Rob, you give ideas, and I listen to your ideas, but I also have the ability to say, no, I'm not doing that. So, like, I think that's kind of maybe the way that this works is, yeah, I think that Andy listens to Bieniemy and says this, but I also think in this scenario, in this hypothetical, there have definitely been times where Andy wants to punt the ball and the offensive coordinator is saying, I think we should go for it. And Andy says, no, we're punting it. And how are you going to argue? That guy's the boss. He's the head coach. I definitely think that happens. All right, here is Andy Reid talking about the impact that EB has on Patrick Mahomes. Here's Coach Reid.
Yeah, I mean, he brings it. Patrick knows him, first of all, Jesse. And then I tell you, EB will be very direct with him, like he does with everybody, but he knows it's coming from a place of knowledge there that he knows. And Patrick, you guys could take this whole thing a couple different ways, so I want to make sure we're saying this right. Patrick loved Nags, and he also loves EB. So this isn't either or deal. It's one guy having to replace another guy and that's not what this is about. But I want to make sure Nags gets his shout out here too, and that EB gets his.
I don't think that part was ever really in question. I don't think the Chiefs hired an offensive coordinator that Patrick would disapprove of, even if that person was new and an outside voice. Like, I think Patrick or Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, like, once you get to that level and you're by far and away the most important person in the building, if you don't want somebody to be here and you're adamant about it, then that person will not be there. So, yeah, I never thought for a second that Pat had an issue with Eric Bieniemy or they were on opposite sides or this didn't get Pat's blessing or Pat was not a part of the process to bringing him back. That's why I also think it's kind of important to know who else they interviewed, because I'd be very curious to know if Pat would have been on board with them too. Like, do we know if Cliff Kingsbury got, like, we have no clue if Cliff Kingsbury interviewed. Like, I'd be very, very curious to know if Cliff Kingsbury agreed to an interview or didn't agree to the job. Like, those are kind of things that maybe it's just media and we want to be nosy. But the fact that we only have one name associated with it, man, I could really give you a lot more opinion if I knew at least one other person they really seriously considered for the job, because it just doesn't feel like anybody else was ever really considered for the job. It felt like 10 days before they made the announcement, they were waiting on the Bears to lose or however their season was going to end to go get Eric Bieniemy. I mean, I think whenever Patrick Mahomes met with the media, I thought they already had made their decision. Now, in hindsight, like hearing how Patrick talked and then hearing how Andy describes EB, it's almost like they knew whenever Pat did that press conference a couple of weeks ago.
I think EB, what are some of his strengths? I think he's got a great knowledge of the offense. I think he's understands leadership. I've always said he's a great leader of men, whether it's coaches, players. I think he does a heck of a job there. He's good with you guys. He's very honest with you. And there's no hidden agendas. I mean, that's just his personality. And not, listen, we're talking about EB here. So I'm not talking about Matt Nagy. That's not what we're doing. We're not comparing here. This is EB. You asked me his strengths. Those are his strengths.
I think it's also safe to say that those are not the strengths for Matt Nagy. I understand, but the fact that he makes it such a point to say, I'm not comparing the two, is then comparing the two to me. I think Matt Nagy has a lot of strengths. I don't think that his strengths are anywhere close to what you would deem the strengths to be for Bieniemy. I would be curious on this, and I don't think they would answer it. What do you think EB's weaknesses are?
I truly believe it's play calling. Didn't we see that in Washington and UCLA? Like, is the answer play calling? I mean, it wasn't like Sam Howell was lighting the world on fire. And yes, I know that it's Sam Howell, but there have been elite play callers who have made mediocre quarterbacks look good. I think play calling is his weakness.
Yeah, I'd be very curious to know. I mean, at this point, everybody has told me the exact same thing when it comes to strengths and what he is good at. Like, at this point, everybody's using the same adjectives to describe Eric Bieniemy. I'd be really curious to hear what the weaknesses are. And I would also say, and I know I'm coming on the other side, you know one word I've never heard used to describe EB? Creative. You have not heard a single person, when you describe Eric Bieniemy, not a single person has used the term creative to describe him. It's the same words: discipline, red ass. Everybody uses the same adjectives to describe him. Accountability. You're not heard a single person be like, man, he's really creative, which is just interesting to me.
It's also possible, talking about his negatives, is it possible that his strengths and negatives are the same? Like, he has a aggressive style of coaching. Let's say that.
Yeah.
It's possible that doesn't work for everyone. And when you're in a building where it ain't the good times are rolling, that style rubs people the wrong way. Like when you're in Kansas City and you're the hold people accountable guy, when you're in Minnesota and you're hold Adrian Peterson who's going to rush for 2,000 yards accountable guy, I think you are liked. But when you're at UCLA and you're barreling toward 2-10, I don't know players like getting that style of coaching when they're getting their ass whooped on Saturday.
Yeah, but I would also just ask this question. I know this is not a question you can answer. I don't know if you can be a successful football player if that's not a form of coaching that you do well with. Think about it. You can be good at other sports, I think, without that coaching. Like, you can be a really good baseball player that way. You can be a really good basketball player that way. Do you think you can be a really good football player without having the ability to accept coaching the way that we think EB coaches? I don't know if you can do that. Like, just given the kind of game that it is, like, it requires a measure of physical toughness for you to play football. If you're not mentally tough enough to deal with this guy kind of yelling at you behind the scenes, I just don't know how you're then physically tough enough to be able to do it. Like, we've never heard EB in a way like where we think he is belittling people. Like, we definitely know some football coaches that make guys feel bad about themselves and are real. No one has ever described EB as that. But they have fiery, going to yell at you, going to go back and forth. Like, I don't know if you can be a successful football player if that's not a form of communication that you can do well with. Because trust me, the people on the other side are talking to you way worse than we think Eric Bieniemy is talking to you. Like, I don't know if we want the unedited, mic'd up the way that these guys are talking back and forth to each other. Like, if you can't handle this 60-year-old man yelling at you on the sideline, I just don't know if football is a profession that you're going to be great at. Coming up on the other side, we're going to switch gears for a little bit. There is some stadium news that is coming out about what Jackson County and Kansas City is trying to do. We'll catch up with it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel's making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or you're building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbooks, the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First, online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Dane and Hughes here, and it's playoff time, and there's no better place to bet the chase for the championship than Circa Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be. Whether you're betting championship or conference futures, sides, totals, or prop bets for every round, there's no better place to make your bets throughout January all the way to the big game. Circa Sports, with high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come see us in store. Shane Company engagement rings are crafted with care from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then You may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Visit anthonyphc.com today.
Plumbing problem? Anthony makes repairs simple and stress-free. Right now, save $75 on any plumbing repair. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Still dealing with the multi-car crash coming out of downtown. That explains why you are so heavy back into downtown. The crash is 35 southbound just before 18th. Right lane is blocked. We've got a stall 70 westbound at Blue Ridge cut off. Scoot to the left, right lane blocked through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey Kansas City, it's Vinny Pasquantino. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
All right, so we saw a tweet earlier today from Eric Graves. He's about to join the show. The tweet said, new Missouri State Rep Mike Jones, who? Mike Jones says that he has been told by Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas, friend of the show, that Mayor Quentin Lucas is trying to direct $500 million towards a baseball stadium. The state rep says the proposal wouldn't need a public vote. That's what the mayor has been coming on the air and telling us now for, Rob, a year? We think we can push money through, and we do not need the public's vote for this money. The state rep, they are trying to introduce legislation that would require a public vote. So they are going to try to shoot this thing down. Let's obviously keep an eye on it. Let's head to the phone lines right now to get the latest from Eric Graves of Channel 9 News and get the latest on all of this. Eric, how you doing, my man?
Hey, Carrington, how you doing, man?
Eric, I'm doing fantastic. I think this is your first time coming on the show, and I will determine if you can come back on the show based on how you answer this question. Right now, it is as cold as it's ever been. Would you rather it be 0 degrees or 100 degrees?
You know, Carrington, something about me, I'm a redhead, man, and 100 degrees means I'm putting on sunscreen every 30 minutes. So that's a major factor in that to me. I don't want to get skin cancer. I don't want to get too burnt up. So I'm going to lean 0 degrees right now since I've been out in it and I feel like I've acclimated to it. But you probably asked me in the winter or in the summer, I'd probably change my answer.
Okay, Eric, you know what, man? You better make this appearance count because I don't know if I can have people around me that like this weather outside. It's absolutely miserable outside today. It's as cold as outside today was as cold as I've ever been.
I would agree with you on that. We've been driving around these roads. I'm in between live shots right now. It is freezing out, and it looks so nice because the sun is out, but the wind is terrible.
So let's just start with this. What is your interpretation of this as you're reporting on this story, and everybody's been following this for the last handful of years or so? What do you make of this, that Mayor Quentin Lucas wants to try to push this through without a public vote? It sounds like the state reps want a public vote. What do you make of this?
You know, I think it's what you said there in the beginning. We've known that they can look at ways of doing this without a public vote for a little while now. We also know the Royals are a top priority in keeping the Royals. They do not want the Royals to leave Missouri. One thing that I think maybe might have gone under the radar a bit last week that we reported on at Channel 9 was that the mayor was in Jefferson City with Phil Lavoda, the Jackson County executive, as well as the governor up there, Mike Kehoe, and they had a private closed-door meeting. Now, we don't exactly know what that was about, but I'd give you one guess to try and figure out what it was about, especially after what we'd heard from the Chiefs in Kansas talking about, hey, when we talk to Missouri, they were a little bit all over the place. It was like you were talking to the state, you were talking to the county, you were talking to the city. Certainly seems like they're trying to get on the same page. And I've talked to Mayor Quentin Lucas about this a couple of times in just the last few weeks. Twice he has told me that he is hoping to have something with the Royals before spring training starts, and that is very much less than a month away. So I think this is a good sign. And something to point out here about what Representative Mike Jones has said is he says he's heard this from Mayor. He's heard this, that Mayor Quentin Lucas is trying to do this. He didn't say the mayor told him this. He said he's hearing this. You know, sometimes like we say, we have sources telling us this. This is the first time we've heard a number figure in terms of $500 million, but it's certainly been known that Quentin Lucas has been working, I would say, very hard in the past few weeks, especially since the Chiefs announced their move to get something done with the Royals. So it would seem to me that hopefully, I would say, where there's smoke, there's fire, that maybe this could be something close to coming to an end in terms of the Royals and where they're going to play their ball in the future.
I guess two things here. Right now we're talking to Eric Graves of Channel 9 News. I guess two things here. You're feeling this too, because ever since we got the announcement that the Chiefs were moving to Kansas, it feels like Missouri for the first time has decided to enter the game in a very long time. It feels like there has been a push at the state level, the county level, and the local level to, all right, we lost one of the teams. We cannot lose both of the teams. I feel like this is a very different energy from Kansas City and Missouri than it was, let's say, 6 months ago.
Yeah, I would say that, and I want to be frank with you here. I started at Channel 9 6 months ago. I'm a kid born and raised, and I've certainly paid attention to this while I've been out doing this job in other places. So I'm up to date on it, and I would tell you it feels like a different energy to me when I've talked to Phil Lavoda about it, talking to them before the Chiefs deal was announced to after it. And one thing that I think is worth mentioning here, and we had speaker over in Kansas, Dan Hawkins, say this on our air a few weeks ago. He says the door is closed in Kansas. Now, is the door actually closed in Kansas? Who really knows? Because I think there's some language in the laws up there, and as far as those star bonds, that maybe leave it open until the summer. But it seems like Missouri's the best option here in keeping these teams. So I would say there's a different energy here. They're definitely trying to get something done here quickly.
Do you think this is going to be successful from the state reps, where Mike Jones is saying, I mean, they're trying to introduce legislation to stop it, and you've certainly been following this enough to know the Royals and I think the city are trying to avoid it because they don't want another vote to fail. Do you think like this effort is going to be successful?
I think in terms of Representative Mike Jones's effort and what he's trying to do out there, that's a tough thing to say. And I won't speak to being a complete expert on legislation, but legislation has never been a quick thing. In the history of politics anywhere, it is rarely a quick thing. And so if the Royals and Kansas City can come to an agreement here, I think this could be done, like Mayor Quentin Lucas has said, sometime before spring training. There's always a chance of that. And then for this to interfere with that, there's always a chance, but you never know. People really want to keep the Royals in Missouri. Missouri does not want to lose a second team, even if they don't like giving up tax, even if some don't like the idea of giving up taxpayer money. But that's up in the air. I'm certainly hoping to talk to the representative about this. Hopefully tomorrow is when I'll get a chance to catch up with him, but we'll see about that.
If you had to guess, where do you think the stadium lands? And not just on the Missouri or Kansas side, because it seems like even more locations have opened up over the last 30 days on where the Royals could be. Like the mayor threw out East Village as a possibility. I haven't heard that. I've heard 18th and Vine thrown out as a possibility.
Yeah.
If you had to just guess right now, and at this point everybody's got a crystal ball, where do you think the Royals are going to play in 5 years?
You know, I'm glad you asked this because I actually talked to Ollie Gates about the 18th and Vine location because we had heard about that, and I had gotten a hold of Ollie Gates, of course, you know, one of the great names in barbecue in this city and very involved in things going on still at his age of more than 90 plus now. And Ollie had told me that he has pitched the idea of an 18th and Vine stadium to the Royals. And certainly East Village has been mentioned by the mayor. I tried to kind of clear that up with the mayor, I think 2 weeks ago was when I talked to him last about this, you know, in terms of all the locations. And I think his point was more just to say, we want the Royals to find a location they like in Missouri, and we are willing to put up options like this. We just want them to find a home they like so they can get a deal done. Now, when I asked the mayor about, let's talk about 18th and Vine, let's talk about East Village, let's talk about, obviously, his site right there at Washington Square. I call it his site. You know, I think that's the one he would like the most. Washington Square Park right there across from Union Station. Of course, Union Station made all the buzz a few weeks ago when they lit everything up blue in support of a Royal Stadium. Kind of everybody out, made it think a deal might be happening there. When I talked to the mayor about that, he said what makes Washington Square Park stand out in his mind there's a lot less red tape to get through. If you go out to 18th and Vine, that site out there might have more space than Washington Square Park, but at the same time, there are a lot more owners out there of that land. There would have to be more individual deals done. Washington Square Park could make things a bit easier. There's also, of course, North Kansas City to mention up there, but I think at this point, from one of my conversations with the Royal, with nobody's talked to the Royals about this, with the mayor, is they want the Royals to find the best site for them, and that's what they're offering up.
Last thing here, are you hopeful that this is coming to a conclusion? I mean, the Chiefs have made their announcement, and they've just kind of stayed quiet for the last couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. Is if you're the Chiefs, you've already made your decision. I'm kind of using that same timeline. I mean, I would love to have this thing done by opening day. I don't know if there's we're going on 2 years. You've had enough time to go through sites. You've heard Kansas's offer. You know what Missouri could possibly do for you. To me, this should be done by opening day this year.
I think we can all hope that, but it's also, I think we've all had a lot of hopeful deadlines over the past couple of years in terms of where this could get done. I think there's certainly momentum now. The Chiefs were a huge domino to fall. At least from my perspective, kind of felt like they were almost the main domino to fall in this, is where are the Chiefs going and where can we decide based on this? And so I'm hopeful this is coming to a conclusion. I think everybody in Kansas City is tired of hearing about this. I know lawmakers are tired of talking about it. I'm confident in that from the folks I speak to. People want a resolution here, but at the same time, the folks in Kansas City, Missouri seem very united in trying to keep the Royals in Kansas City, Missouri.
Eric, I will possibly consider you coming back on the show when it gets warmer. I'll think about it. I got to talk to Rob. We got to regroup here. But you being an advocate for this weather outside, it really changes my opinion about you.
I'm an advocate for staying busy at work, man. This weather has kept me busy at work.
That is our guy, Eric Graves, joining us on the show today with Channel 9 News. Eric, great stuff, man. Appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks, Carrington. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. That's Eric Graves joining us on the show today. Rob, I do want to talk about the stadium stuff. We won't spend too much time. I mean, there's news, but there's not really that much news attached to it. I do want to get back to talking about football. I think I've figured out a new way to attack this weather conversation. Rob, are you more likely to go to a football game when it's 0 degrees outside or a baseball game when it's 100 degrees outside?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably.
There's not even anything to think about.
Well,
There's a much better chance of me going to the Royals game than outside right now.
I like football more than like baseball. That's part of the calculus here. That's the part of your example what falls apart.
Okay, I'm saying is, are you much more like, so right now you can pick, I'm not saying a playoff game because that changes it, right? Like there's not going to be a playoff game for the Royals when it's 100 degrees outside. It's not 100 degrees outside in October. I'm saying is you can go to a December cold football game or a 100-degree June Royals Guardians Friday at Kauffman Stadium. Which game are you more likely to attend? Because you know it's the baseball game.
I'm more likely to be at the baseball game.
For sure. The baseball game is more enjoyable to be at, too. Now, I'm not saying it's enjoyable the whole time, but I'd much rather go to the baseball game than go to the football game. I don't know if I told you this story. I was leaving the station on Friday. I was excited. I got nothing to do these next couple days. Watch Netflix, man. Just chill. I had to pump gas before. So, you know, that little Hy-Vee not around the corner. I was over there and I was pumping gas. And I had to get out of the car. And that wind hit me at the right time. And I honestly started thinking about all the conversations that we've had on this show about the weather and cold and all of that. And I thought to myself, this is the weather that people go outside and watch football in? This is the weather. You're telling me if the AFC Championship game was in Kansas City yesterday, you'd have been outside in that weather? No, they couldn't pay me enough to go out there. It's freezing out there. You got a dog, so I know you went outside these last couple days. It was cold out there. Frigid. That's as cold as it's been since that Dolphins game. As cold as it was this weekend. That was cold. It was freezing outside yesterday. Freezing. Please, Royals baseball me. I'll be at Royals Tigers any day over that out there. I don't got no interest in going out there today.
I'm already dreading the walk to my car today.
I got that new car with the remote starter now.
I know.
I'll be remote starting that bad boy. Heading into that last segment of the show, I just go and have that thing hot and toasty for when I get out there. That's what I do. I start having that thing hot and toasty, ready to go. Please have me ready to go. I already got the little seat warmers ready too. Please have my seat warm when I sit in there. Have the car hot and ready when it's ready to go. Oh, I can't do it. Y'all got it. I don't want no parts of it. All right, I was thinking this, and I think you guys will like this. I was thinking this. I don't believe in parity the way that you guys do when it comes to the NFL. It sounds really good. It really does. It sounds good. And there's no question, in football, you have a chance to be a bad team and then turn around and make the playoffs. I think we oversell it compared to the other sports. Like, that happens in the NBA every year. We don't talk enough about it, which is okay, fine, whatever. That happens in baseball. We just don't really spend a lot of time talking about it. Like, we don't really give predictions for who's going to make the playoffs in these other sports the same way that we do with football. So, yes, it is possible for you to be the Bears. You can be bad one year and then turn around the next year and be good, or Washington, or fill-in-the-blank team. The NFL certainly creates a path where every team can make the playoffs for the most part. All of these teams can't make the Super Bowl. Well, Carrington, how do you know? 9 of the last 10 years in the AFC. You're telling me that you love football because of parity any given Sunday. 9 of the last 10 years, the team that has represented the AFC has either been Kansas City or New England. Well, they had Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. They didn't have them this year. You know what wins championships? Organizations. That's what wins. I hate to quote Jerry Krause, but organizations win. There's a reason why whenever we talk about Super Bowl teams, we talk about the same 8 teams for the last decade. It's Kansas City. It's New England. It's Seattle. It's San Francisco. It's Philadelphia. It's the Rams. We've been talking about the same teams now for a decade, and they just keep turning over, and the same teams keep playing in the Super Bowl. We're about to get a repeat of the Super Bowl either way once the Patriots won. You want a repeat of Patriots-Rams, or you want a repeat of Patriots-Seahawks? Which one do you want? Because we've already seen this Super Bowl before. Oh, you want Broncos and Seahawks? I mean, we saw that one before. Like we've seen this before. I'm telling you, we oversell parity in the National Football League, at least at this level. No, there's a reason why the Falcons keep having new head coaching openings. That's not a great organization. There's a reason why the Jets keep having so many different head coaches, or the Dolphins keep having so many head coaches, or fill in the blank team that you're thinking of. But then these other teams, yeah, maybe you got to fire a coach. Hey, maybe Doug Peterson takes you to a Super Bowl, and then it ends up not working with Doug Peterson. Oh, it's okay. The next coach will take us to the Super Bowl. We'll hire Nick Sirianni, who nobody likes, and nobody knows what he's doing. But still, next thing you know, the guy wins 70% of his games. You then look up, and he's been to 2 Super Bowls and won one. Because they got a really strong organization with a really good owner and a person who's drafting the players and know what they're doing. There's a reason why the same 8 teams keep always going to the championship. We don't never get completely random Super Bowl teams. We don't. Not the way that we spin it sometimes. We don't get the random Titans year. Like, think about it. A random year we talk about is the Ravens. Think about that. We talk about the Ravens as the random team. The only random team maybe in 15 years has been Cincinnati. That might be the only random team. Cincinnati is not a championship-level organization. They're really not. And we know that. We got a lot of evidence before that championship appearance and after the championship appearance to tell you that was a fluke. That was a random thing that happened. It took Patrick Mahomes playing as poorly as he ever has played for the next 37 minutes of the game for that to end up happening. So, yes, it is designed for every team to have a chance to make the playoffs. And that's what keeps us in it. The race to see who can make the playoffs. Man, once you get to the playoffs, for all the time we talk about coach, for all the time we talk about quarterbacks, what really separates this is who's running things, who's making the decisions. We've seen 3 different versions of Seattle with this general manager. We saw the version with Russell Wilson, who built one of the best defenses that we've ever had. Your defense got to be real good for us to give it a nickname and call it by a nickname. They had that version. They then got rid of Russell Wilson. That version with Geno, like, they revitalized Geno Smith's career. Geno, we looked at Geno like Sam Darnold not that long ago. Now, he turned back into him once he left Seattle. But for a 2-3 stretch there, Geno was not bad in Seattle. Put good pieces, great organization around him. You then lost a Hall of Fame coach in Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is amazing. He's won a championship at college and in the National Football League. It's okay. We then replace him with a 36-year-old defensive coordinator who 2 years later took him to a championship game. They're the favorite to win the Super Bowl. So I get it. We will always talk about quarterbacks and coaches, and that stuff matters. I'm not here to tell you that it doesn't matter. I'm telling you what matters is organization, stability. Who's your general manager? Who's making decisions? Does your owner empower people to make the decisions? Does your owner move out of the way? Tell me when you ever heard Seattle's owner talk. Do you know who their owner is? Do you know what their owner does for a living? No. It's the daughter of the founder of Microsoft. That's who it is. Her dad passed away, gave her the team. She just, I'm rich. Hey, you handle that. I'm just going to let you do it. You got it. You're phenomenal at your job. Rob, it is the same team every 8 years that have a chance. Same teams. So, as back and forth as we all are about Kansas City, I don't like this. I don't like this. I got a lot of confidence in their owner. I got a lot of confidence in their I have a lot of confidence in their head coach. I have confidence in their general manager. That's probably a better way to put it. I don't want to lie and say I got a lot of confidence in Brett Veach. I don't. I have confidence in Brett Veach. I don't have a lot of confidence in Brett Veach, but I have some. If you got those three things figured out, you got a shot.
I also think, and we as NFL fans and football fans get suckered into believing this, that there's parity in the NFL. Do you know what the parity in the NFL is? And you'll see it in August. They will tell us. They love telling us. Another year, a team went worst to first. What happens to that team every year? They lose in the postseason. They just sell that optimism. You know what's going to happen this year? We're going to talk about how the Panthers made the playoffs a lot. Oh, well, last year the Panthers made it. Can they take the next step? Look at that parity in the league. The Panthers are in the playoff. The Panthers were a one and done. I can name team after team after team in the NFL that is a one and done. That's not real parity. That's just, hey, someone's got to make the postseason. The schedule formula, the schedule algorithm is designed to get someone in the postseason. But true parity, a different team in the Super Bowl every year, that's not a thing. It's a retread of exactly what you said. Good ownership, good general manager, good coaching, good quarterback. If you get 3/4 or half of that, you will continue to find yourself in the biggest game. But the parity the NFL sells us, every team's got a chance. No, they don't. They have a chance to make the postseason and go home, which is great. They sell out Carolina Stadium, everyone has a party, and then they go about their business. It's not real, true parity.
Someone asked a good question. Carrington, why do you really trust the owner? Why do you really trust the head coach but not feel the exact same way about the general manager? I can explain. And I also think the NFC Championship game kind of gives you the example why. I'll explain more. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
When the cold sets in across KC, AB May is the trusted name for keeping your home warm, safe, and secure. From furnace repairs to system replacements, we deliver reliable solutions and unmatched care and professionalism. Whether it's a sudden breakdown or routine maintenance, AB May is here to help. Trusted by generations of Kansas City homeowners, we're committed to doing things the right way every time. Call AB May at 913-732-9993 or visit us at abmay.com.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever, best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start February 11th. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes while giving you a head start on 2026. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got a new crash and debris in the road 35 northbound just before West Penway. It is the left lane blocked. Raytown, that crash still there. Right lane blocked. 435 northbound past Eastwood. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
I said in the last segment, we were talking about organizations and that organizations win championships. That we spent a lot of time talking about parity in the National Football League. I don't know how you can argue there's parity in the AFC. Of the last decade, 3 teams have been to the championship. 3 teams. 9 teams, or 9 of the 10 have been 2. The Chiefs and the Patriots over the last 10 years. 2 teams have dominated the AFC. So for all the talk about Buffalo and Baltimore and Pittsburgh and all these other great franchises, no, there's been no parity. The NFC, it's a lot of Philadelphia, a lot of San Francisco, a lot of Seattle, the Rams. Like, on a given year, there's only really 8 organizations that genuinely have a chance to go to the championship. I'm not talking about make the playoffs. Almost half the league now makes the playoffs. I'm talking about you are a good enough organization. You drafted well. You got enough depth. You got enough good coaching that you think you can win 2 or 3 games to find yourself playing in the final weekends. We're talking about this. And I said, I really believe in the Chiefs owner. I really believe in their head coach. I believe in their general manager. Someone said, why do you say that? This was very apparent to me when watching Seattle and watching last year's Super Bowl and watching the Chiefs. Rob, if I had to ask you to make a list right now and ask you to write down the players that you think are stars that Brett Veach have drafted, I'm talking true, legitimate stars, who would you write down? Because if I asked you that question with Philadelphia, we'd have some pretty clear answers on who they've drafted. They may have drafted the best interior defensive lineman in the last 5 years. If I ask you that question about Seattle, I mean, their wide receiver is a star. You and I think their safety is a star. I'm talking about legitimate, game-changing kind of players. One question mark for me with Brett Veach, and we are now heading into, I mean, you got 2 significant picks. You got the 9th overall pick and the 40th overall pick. I'm not talking about drafting foundation. I'm talking about drafting star players. And I don't know if Brett Veach has done a good job in drafting that. Like, Nick Bolton is a very good player, No one considers Nick Bolton to be a star. He's not a star linebacker, you would say. Creed Humphrey, great player. He's a star. Trey Smith, same category. I love Trent McDuffie. Do you think people outside of Kansas City are talking about Trent McDuffie as one of those kinds of corners? Like, we know when those kind of corners pop up. We were talking about Sauce Gardner. People talk about Patrick Surtain. I don't know if people talk about Trent McDuffie outside of Kansas City. So one of the things that I think is very, very important for Kansas City as they are turning the page, and as we are talking about Kelsey being done, as we are talking about Chris Jones being on the back half of their career, I mean, the last regime gave you a star quarterback, a star wide receiver in Tyreek Hill, a star tight end in Travis Kelce, a star defensive tackle in Chris Jones. I'm talking about foundational kind of pieces. I'm sitting there reading the text line. Somebody says Isaiah Pacheco. Well, okay, then what are we doing here? Well, then Seattle drafted Kenneth Walker, who we think might be the number one free agent running back if he hits the list. That's, to me, a difference. And I got to see Brett Veach do that for himself. Not draft good players. They've drafted a lot of good players to put around Mahomes. Do they have the ability now in Patrick Mahomes' 30s? Do they have the ability to draft the next superstars, the next guys that are going to be top 10 in jerseys, the next guys that are going to be in commercials and be superstars and be talked about? That's the one thing Veach hasn't really done a great job of, I would say, in Kansas City. Now, some of that might just be to where they draft, and they don't draft high in it, but I would say Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua was not a first-round draft pick, and he has turned into be a star wide receiver. That's, I think, the difference in some of these organizations and how they've built their rosters.
So what you're insinuating, or maybe just outright saying, is you're kind of describing Brett Veach the way that Jim Harbaugh described Ryan Day. He didn't hit a double. He started on second. I don't think Brett Veach started on third. I think that's fair to say he's lacked in star power, but also say, not that he's anti-drafting stars. Like, if he's listening to the show, he's not sitting there being like, I don't want any stars on the team.
Sure. Yeah, no, you definitely want them. I'm just saying.
When you inherit a roster of Mahomes, Jones, and Kelsey, then what you are looking for need-wise is different. Like, when you have Chris Jones at the peak of his powers, when you have Travis Kelce as a 1,500-yard tight end, you do need a more, foundational piece. You don't need a star anymore. You have the star. So you are looking for a Karlaftis to complement Jones. Yeah, you inherited Jones, but I would say he's been asked and tasked with find the complement pieces, and he's done a good job of that. I think this year, and if you want to say last year, are the first 2 years where the task has changed. It's no longer, hey, find complementary pieces. It's now, hey, go find the star power. For a cross-sport comparison, you love the NBA. There are definitely GMs who are elite at building a roster of, I have these guys, how do I make it work with the ancillary pieces? How do I get a 3-and-D guy? How do I get a guy off the bench who can hit shots? How do I get, a pass-first point guard? All we got to do is complement Giannis or LeBron. There are also GMs who their job is to find Giannis or LeBron. I think Brett Veach has been asked to find the complementary pieces, and now I think the shift has happened. We'll see what happens. I don't think he can't. I just think he's never been asked to.
And I also think that's a fair question. If someone is asking, is that drafting or developing? That is a very, very fair question. Where I would push back on you, Rob, is they've been looking for a number one wide receiver now for 3 years. And I'm saying is heading into possibly year 4 of that search, Travis Kelce, who was drafted in, when was Travis Kelce drafted? 2011? On the top of my head? When was Travis Kelce drafted? A long time ago.
13. He was 13.
My bad. So 13. This organization has still not found a number one wide receiver to replace the guy who was drafted in 2013, 5 years before your general manager's first draft. They have not replaced that guy. Still, to this day. So you now got a big opportunity. They have the 9th overall pick. You need to draft one of those guys because, and I would say in some of the ways, Rob, they have tried. They thought George Karlaftis was on his route to being that. You don't give him that contract if you don't think he's about to turn into one of the next great pass rushers. You thought that he was going to turn into that. He didn't this year. He had 6 sacks. You were not a star DN with 6 sacks. Rice was trending. Hey, he had a chance. Now some of that, he got injured, off the field. Not saying all of it is your fault, but I'm saying is as we head into 2.0 of Kansas City, and they are trying to get back to where they were and get championships, Man, those guys that are Hall of Fame Canton guys with the T-shirts and the gold jackets, man, those guys are almost done. Chris Jones maybe has 2 years left with Kansas City. We're not even sure if Travis Kelce is coming back. Tyreek Hill's been gone for a long time. I'm talking about the guys that you build with, the guys that you win champions with, the game-changing kind of players. Where's their Jackson Smith and Jibba? You've taken a chance to try to find that guy. Where is that guy on this roster? You and I were just debating if they've drafted a better player than that safety. I've already forgot the kid's name, Nick E. We've already forgot if they've drafted a player better than him.
Eamon Worry.
Yeah, him. Because I'm telling you this, I'd rather have him than have Nick Bolton if you're asking me right now which one I'd rather have. I'd rather have him than have George Karlaftis if you were giving me a choice. I would trade Nick Bolton straight up for that kid. That kid's incredible. He looks like he's got a chance to be an all-pro safety for the next decade or so. Always flying around making plays.
You know who's not making that trade? Seattle.
No, for sure not.
I also think, and this circles back to a conversation we had a lot last year, I think I might trust Brett Veach a little more than you when it comes to the draft and finding talent. What frustrates me about Brett Veach, and I know you're in this camp as well, I think he's been paying players that are at positions that don't need to get paid. Like, no disrespect to Trey Smith. He's a good right guard.
No, you and I were on. You and I said that from day one. I wouldn't have paid him.
Like, if you aren't going to find JSN in the draft, I'll just pick wide receiver. Do you know what you can do with $20 million? You can pay the wide receiver. Like you mentioned the Eagles. The Eagles' top wideout, or let's call A.J. Brown their top wideout. Do you know how they acquired him? Via trade and paying him. They had the cap space to do it. I'm not saying there would be A.J. Brown cap space available, but know the Chiefs would have more cap space to do and play around with if they weren't paying their right guard. If they weren't paying their inside linebacker. Like, I think some of my frustrations with Brett Veach are, if you're not going to be the draft stars guy, which he has not been so far, I think he can be, but that's neither here nor there. You got to be, hey, I'll find the stars other ways. And he is paying the wrong positions, which is handcuffing your ability to find the stars. That first offseason when they went from Bob Sutton and great offense losing the Super Bowl to winning the Super Bowl, the players he brought in that were stars, he didn't draft them. He traded for Frank Clark and he signed Tyrann Mathieu. That team is incapable of doing that right now because you're paying Trey Smith.
I'll ask you this, and I know we're up against it. Is there any player on this team other than Patrick Mahomes that you think if they were available for a trade would get you back a first-round pick? Like right now, other than Mahomes, because Mahomes obviously would.
Yeah, Mahomes different.
If you put Mahomes off to the side, out of the other 52 guys on the roster, is there any other player on the team right now, if you called and said, we are open for business, we will trade this player, we don't care what team he goes to, no team is giving you a first-round pick for George Karlaftis?
Yeah, I don't think there's a first.
And I love McDuffie. I'm not sure McDuffie gets you a first-round pick back right now. I love McDuffie. I don't know if a team's like, yes, we'll give you a first-round pick for McDuffie right now.
McDuffie's the closest.
McDuffie might be the only player that's even in the conversation of it.
Yeah, he's the only one. Because, like, Josh Simmons, I don't think it's a first right now because the verdict's still out. None of the other linemen have enough positional value to be a first-round guy. Yeah, I think if you take Mahomes out of the equation, I don't think they have a first-round talent trade-worthy.
Creed Humphrey?
He plays center.
I'm with you. I'm just wondering if that would be the guy.
I think he is super talented, but I don't think anyone in the league gives up a first-round pick for center.
Okay, as I'm saying. I'm just saying that's the kind of guy I want. I want a guy when in a year you feel like, we would not consider trading this guy, and if we put this guy on the market. Right now, if Seattle put JSN on the market, they'd get 2 first-round picks for him. He's the best receiver in the National Football League. That's the kind of guy they need to pick with the 9th overall pick and turn him into that kind of guy. We'll reset things coming up at the top of the hour. What an AFC and NFC championship game. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Cleanup is still underway with that debris, 35 northbound just before West Penway. The left lane is blocked. Crash cleanup is underway. You've got a stall K10 westbound as you approach 435, blocking the left lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one final kickoff, your final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is the 60th Super Bowl, and FanDuel is making sure that you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, maybe you're riding with the underdog, or you're building that last same-game parlay. So whether you're betting the spread, who's going to win MVP, or who you think's going to find the end zone, FanDuel's got you covered for this year's Super Bowl. Make it count, because after the Super Bowl, it's done. Finito. So it's your last call for football this season on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. And visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook and the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued, non-withdrawal bonus. Like 7th Street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
This Wednesday, January 28th, our friends at Centric are hosting a KC Tech Career Summit at Centric. It's open networking with KC area tech professionals, facility tours, breakout conversations with instructors, career services, and a live panel featuring former Centric students and local employers, plus a Q&A.
Whether you're just starting out, considering a career change, or simply interested in what the tech field offers, this summit offers you a gateway to that. Please RSVP in advance by going to Centric.com and clicking the KC Tech Summit at the top of the page.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew a Halloween costume would change my life and lead me to Renner Garage Door? Renner's KC's go-to team for service, repair, and replacement.
RENNER, RENNER.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes videos like MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, and Best Bets. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ, FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. My name is Carrington. I'm happy to be here. Rob is also here. I imagine that Rob is here. During the commercial break, I just was scrolling around on the internet, and I just got reminded again of the end of the K-State KU game. If you're a K-State fan, you have to be at a wit's end when it comes to Jerome Tang. I just saw the final play of the game again
The ball is about to go out of bounds. Kansas could just let the ball go out of bounds. It's over. We beat you. We're up 20 points. Rob, Trey White goes down to save it to make sure that it stays in bounds, picks the ball up, dunks the basketball, and then they start dancing at midcourt and mocking your celebration. K-State fan, come on now. You guys got more fight on Twitter than your basketball team does. You guys can't approve of this. I've never seen Kansas do K-State the way that they did them on Saturday. Embarrassing. Like, they already try to little bro you enough that I know it upsets you and I know it makes you mad. This was the biggest. This was like a pat on the head, disrespectful. This is like when somebody just calls you little guy or something, or champ or sport or slick. I'm a 46-year-old man. Why are you calling me champ? Just really trying to sun you. K-State fan, please don't tell me you're going to take this. Please don't tell me that. Whenever we start talking about Jerome Tang and what can happen, I don't want to hear about buyouts and we got to come. I don't want to hear any of that. Saturday had to be the end of the Jerome Tang era. That's as sad as I've ever seen K-State basketball. That looked like Jim Wooldridge basketball you guys were playing out there. It was a 2-point game at half. They 20-balled you at your crib. They're dancing on the court. They're dunking on you. They look like the Harlem Globetrotters. They're mocking you in the locker room. You got to get your lick back. There wasn't a hard foul nowhere. Not at anybody. Nobody on K-State, when a guy was trying to dunk on you, nobody just tries to knock Flory out the air, just with the mindset of, we're not going to let you push us around. We're not going to let you disrespect us like this. Just real shameful basketball from K-State. Embarrassing effort. I don't know how you can be proud of being Emaw today. Every man was not a Wildcat today. I wouldn't want to be associated with them.
I will say this about the game. It's the first time I've ever cheered during the Wabash Cannonball. Melvin Council hit it perfect. I've never seen anyone do that dance that well. He did it better than Jerome Tang does in the crowd. He's done it as much at K-State this year as Jerome Tang has.
That's wild. Somebody said Melvin Council was still shooting threes with a minute ago. Like,
it was like an NBA three. He was pull up from deep.
I've never seen a basketball player be more disrespectful to another basketball team than Melvin Council was towards K-State on Saturday. I've never seen it before. I'm saying I've seen Missouri get smoked by KU. I've seen KU smoke other teams. I've never seen a KU player disrespect the opponent. And I'm not even saying it was out of pocket. This is a rivalry game. This is big-time college athletics. Everybody's out there getting paid. So this is not a sportsmanship take. No, be better. You're Kansas State Athletic. PJ Haggerty's a millionaire. You got enough for them to come in and just do you the way that they did. Embarrassing. Really embarrassing effort. K-State basketball. This might be the last time we talk about you. I got to start seeing some fight. You guys are 10-10. You're 1-6 in conference, and you got a head coach that he's about to be an assistant at Baylor in 4 weeks. So we got to stop it. We got to stop it. K-State's on timeout the rest of the week. It's the last case. This is the last Kansas State mention on the show for the rest of the week.
They're in timeout until their coach goes on timeout.
At least this week. Maybe next week we'll consider talking about them. They're on timeout for the rest of the week.
What? I know they're about to go on timeout. What would they have to do next week to bring up on the show?
I don't know.
Other than fire their coach.
I don't know.
What? PJ Haggerty drops 40, lead on the drive tomorrow. That's not a thing.
I don't know. I have no clue. But I'm just telling you, right now they're on timeout is where they need to be. All right, let's talk about the AFC and NFC championship game. Do you want to start with the AFC? Let's start with the AFC was first. I think there were two plays that defined this game. Out of the whole 60 minutes that we watched, there were two plays that we need to discuss. The first one is, it is the second quarter of the game. Denver is controlling the football game. The Patriots offense, for their first 4 drives, they did absolutely nothing. They had 19 yards of total offense for their first 4 drives. It was a waste of my time. It was a waste of your time. I was sitting there wondering, I'm like, hey, people are going to vote for this quarterback to win MVP? Like, what are we doing here? Rob told me that the New England had the 3rd best quarterback in the league when we did an exercise on Friday. I didn't feel like that as I was watching them play, but I was going to let the game play out. It's 4th and 1 from the 14-yard line. Denver's got a chance. Denver was in the game. Denver was outplaying. They were outplaying the Broncos for the first 20 minutes of the game. You were faced with a pivotal decision. There's a fork in the road. What are you going to do? Are you going to roll the dice? Are you going to go for it? Or are you going to kick the field goal? It would have been a 31-yard field goal when the weather was not a major factor and take a 2-possession lead. Now, this is where Rob and I think disagree. Sometimes when we talk about analytics, I don't think we are taking everything into account. Like when we throw these numbers, why does Kansas City's 4th down conversion rate, how does that affect the Denver Broncos? The Denver Broncos are a team that doesn't have a great running game and has their backup quarterback, and they have a chance to take a 2-score lead. Why are we looking at league average? No, it's this moment. Are you able to convert this opportunity, go up 10 points, continue to keep momentum? Man, that Broncos crowd was engaged for the first 20 minutes of the game. That place was loud, was rocking. And I thought it really had an effect on the New England Patriots. Or are you going to roll the dice and trust analytics and go for it? Well, the Broncos made the decision to go for it. They ran a play action play. No clue why they ran play action. New England never been on the play action. They then flushed out their quarterback, forced an incompletion, and that was as deep into enemy territory that the Broncos had gotten the rest of the game. I can't say definitively what would have happened. I believe the Broncos win the game if they just kick the field goal there. I think the whole momentum of the game shifts. A team had no momentum at that point. You gave them a little bit of momentum. The next time that the Broncos get the ball, that's the 2-arm push, fumble, no clue what Jarrett Stidham is trying to do. Sometimes just taking the sack. You live to play another day. Why are you trying to it made no sense why Jarrett Stidham would do that. And in that moment, in that game, in the first 20 minutes, I think Jarrett Stidham showed you why at one point he was the #1 overall high school recruit and how he was coveted by everybody and how he's been in the league now for 10 years. Incredible arm talent by Jarrett Stidham. That throw he made down the field in the first quarter is a big-time throw. And then he showed you why he's a backup quarterback in this league. He did a insane 2-arm push, bonehead decision. They then could never get any offense going the rest of the way. They scored 7 points on the day. They ended up losing the game. Sean Payton, you got to know your personnel. You got to know situation. Got to know time, score, all of those things. You got a backup quarterback and a subpar running game. Take points when you need them. And how do you not have the weather report? You're in Denver. It's January. You didn't ask anybody? Because the weather, basically after the Broncos made that decision, the weather got to the point where kicking a field goal then became impossible the rest of the way. And the Broncos, they had opportunities to win that game. It's not like the Patriots went out there and lit the world on fire. The Patriots had a very mediocre postseason. They scored 16 points against the Chargers in the first game. They scored 10 points last night. The only reason they scored in the 20s against the Texans was because C.J. Stroud, he was in the giving mood and gave away 4 turnovers. The Patriots have been incredibly mediocre in this postseason. And the Broncos, you had every opportunity to beat them, but you were arrogant. You were feeling yourself, and you made a bonehead decision, in my opinion, to go for it on 4th down. Here's Sean Payton.
Yeah, I just felt like, man, we had momentum to get up 14. It felt like we had a good call. And where were we at yard line wise there?
Around 20.
Yeah, I think the feeling was, man, let's be aggressive. To get up 14. I was just watching the way our defense was playing, and the turnover on our end resulting in a touchdown, and outside of that, man, I thought we did a good job in containing them. There'll be a number of things when we watch the tape I'll look at and critique and pay close attention to, but it was a hard-fought game, and we didn't do enough to win it.
No, you definitely didn't do enough. We got more time to talk about this, and I know it's not sexy to talk about special teams. Special teams absolutely decided Championship Sunday.
The two teams that you feel won the special teams battle won the game. There was one field goal made in the game. The Patriots made it. They won 10-7. Offensively and defensively, I think these four teams are pretty even. That Patriots and Broncos game was even. The Rams and Seahawks game was even on both sides. Both teams' offenses matched each other. Both teams' defenses matched each other. Even across the board. The Broncos chose not to kick a field goal and then missed other field goals along the way. One got blocked. And then in the NFC Championship game, one team has maybe the best punt and kick returner in the league. The other team does not. And the bobbled muff punt that put the ball right on the doorstep for Seattle as they scored a touchdown, and the Rams were just playing they were playing catch up the rest of the game because of that fumble. Now let's talk about the NFC Championship game. And I want to apologize to Sam Darnold. I want to tell Sam Darnold that I was wrong. I want to tell Sam Darnold that I apologize for not believing in you. I want to tell Sam Darnold that you made a fool out of me. Now, I think Sam Darnold made a fool out of most of us, but you know what? I don't mind stepping to the front and admitting it first. In the first 6 years of Sam Darnold's career, he was 21-35 as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. He was not good. He threw 63 touchdown passes, 56 interceptions. Sam Darnold completed less than 60% of his passes his first 6 years and had a 78.3 quarterback rating. Sam Darnold looked like he looked like Jared Stidham. That's what he looked like. He looked like a capable backup quarterback that if you had to trust him in a big game, your team was most certainly going to lose. That's what Sam Darnold looked like the first 6 years in his career. He was trending towards being a backup quarterback in Minnesota. You brought him in, and we've seen this scenario play itself out plenty of times. You let the veteran guy start for the first 4 or 5 weeks. The veteran guy plays like the veteran, and then the young guy. We just saw this in New York this year with Russell Wilson. The young guy starts, and then you make a switch. So that's what I thought was going to happen in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy tears his ACL, and now Sam Darnold, you got to start. Well, when you give him a good run game like they had, you give him one of the best receivers in the National Football League in Justin Jefferson, you give him Jordan Addison, you give him T.J. Hawkinson. What? Sam Darnold was pretty good last year. Now, I was starting to come around on Sam Darnold last season, if you remember. And then when he laid an egg against the Lions in the final game of the regular season, and then he followed it up and laid another egg, dual eggs, in the final regular season game with the 1 seed on the line, and then in the wild card round, I had washed my hands completely of Sam Darnold. And I will admit, every time we talked about Seattle this season, I always disregarded Seattle because of who their starting quarterback was, and I just didn't believe that Sam Darnold could do Sam Darnold things. I was not a believer. But let me tell you, the most magical thing about sports is that you always get the opportunity to prove yourself. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. Ultimately, they get put to the test, and we will see who's right and who's wrong. And Sam Darnold yesterday, in the biggest game of his career, played by far and away the best game of his career. And more importantly, the game was still in balance. Now, I know that Seattle had the lead at the end of the game. It is 31-27 with 5 minutes to go, and the Rams had 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. The Rams still had every opportunity to win that football game. Every opportunity. Well, you know what happened? On that final drive, Sam Darnold threw a 15-yard pass to Kenneth Walker. It was 3rd and 7, and at that point with 3rd and 7, I'm thinking, all right, the Rams are getting the ball back. Sam Darnold's going to throw the ball out of bounds. The ball's going to get tipped. You know how it is. He's going to take a bad sack. And then Matthew Stafford's going to take his team down the field. They're going to win. They're going to the Super Bowl. That's what I thought. 3rd and 7. He completes a pass to Cooper Kupp. They get a first down. All right, you need one more first down to win this game. Sam Darnold, if you get one more first down, your team is going to the Super Bowl. What do you know? He got it. He throws a 14-yard pass to JSN. The Seahawks convert. The Seahawks are now the favorite to win the Super Bowl. We got a lot of time to break this game down. I don't want to spend every single day going through we got time to do that. But at least my early thought on the Super Bowl is You got to show me where New England has the advantage. I'm not saying New England can't win this game. It's the National Football League. It's a single elimination. They're a good football team. They got a great coach. They got a good defense. You can't tell me there's no way New England can win. But I firmly believe in 2 Mondays, I think the conversation, if New England wins, will be more about what Seattle didn't do than what New England did. You got to show me where you think that New England has the advantage. I don't think they have the advantage at quarterback. I don't think they have it at running back. I don't think they have it on offensive line. I don't think they have it at wide receiver. I don't think they have it on defense. I don't think they have it at coach. Like, I don't know where you would say clearly New England is better than Seattle. I think Seattle's the best team in the NFL this year. I think the line coming out at 3.5 is a little bit too much respect towards New England. I think this spread should be 5.5, maybe 6.5. This feels to me early like a 27-20 win for Seattle. That could end up being like 31-20 with a late touchdown, something like that. I'd be a little surprised if Seattle's went in there and just smoked New England. But I would be very surprised if New England won this game. Because I think winning this game just really comes down to, at this point, the only way I think you're picking New England is if you just don't still believe in Sam Darnold, which, hey, I didn't believe in Sam Darnold 24 hours ago, so I completely understand. But that's the only way I think you can pick New England to win this game. It feels on paper like a big mismatch towards the NFC team than the AFC team. That's at least my early read on it, Rob.
I feel like we have 13 days to talk about this game. Hopefully there's some other sports that there's some news or something breaks. Maybe the Royals pick a stadium. I don't know, the next 13 days. But it does feel like this is Seattle smoking New England. I don't know what it would look like last year's Super Bowl where the NFC just absolutely dominated for 4 quarters. But I think this is going to be a game where you're like, in the 4th quarter, your party's going to start thinning out because it's like 31-13 and everyone kind of knows, it's over. Like, we've seen blowout Super Bowls before. I don't know, it's super blowout, but it's a game never in doubt type of game. That's the early read I get on it.
You know what it feels like to me? It might be a weird comparison. You remember a couple of years ago when UConn won the championship, where I thought it was just very clear, like, oh, we all know who the best team in college basketball is. It's that team.
When they beat Bama? Yeah,
that's what it feels like. This feels like 3-4 years ago, that second UConn championship, where it was just fairly obvious who the best team is in college basketball. It's that team. And I'm sorry, Seattle's the best team in the NFL this season. I don't think that's what anybody was expecting, but now that we are here with 1 game to go, it's not particularly close to me between the two teams. Offensively, defensively, special teams, all of those things, Seattle is clearly superior to this New England Patriots team. All right, Rob, let's get to the hits.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington's Always Hits are brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas. And ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
You know what I want to make the hit today? I want to make the hit this. Now, I hope in 2036, this is a topic that we are going to be discussing. I plan on being here in 2036. Rob, hopefully you plan on being here. You know, we keep this thing rocking for as long as we can keep it rocking. I hope that in 2036, we are able to start a 5 o'clock hour with this question. The Chiefs have a retractable roof. They have a retractable dome on their stadium, and they are in an important playoff game. Now, it's January in the Kansas City metro area, so I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to guess it's going to be cold. And I'm going to guess that it's going to be temperature and weather that you don't want to be outside. But you know what my opinion is going to be? Leave that roof open. I think January football is something that we need to protect outside. Now, I don't have any interest in being out in it, but I don't have to be. Somebody has to watch the game at home on television. That's how they get the ratings. Somebody has to go and be an extra in the television show. Everybody has a role. Everybody is important in making this thing go. So I got no problem contributing to the television ratings. When we see the television ratings for the AFC and NFC championship game, and I imagine they're going to be through the roof, half the country is snowed in. What else were you watching this weekend? I'm going to say I was a part of that. I did that. I'm going to have great memories from watching the playoff games on television. We need to preserve it. Every game doesn't need to be the Rose Bowl. Every game doesn't need to be at Allegiant Stadium inside, completely neutral, no wind. That's not what every football game should be. The same way that we celebrate baseball and how unique it is that hitting a home run at Yankee Stadium might not count as hitting a home run at Kauffman Stadium, but it doesn't mean that you didn't hit a home run at Yankee Stadium. You were playing by the rules of that park, and it's different than it is at this other park. This park is a pitcher's park. This one is a hitter's park. This one has a wall in left field where it would have been a home run, but it's not a home run here. It's now a double. We appreciate the uniqueness of baseball. Why do we not appreciate that every stadium in the NFL is a little bit different? Some are domes. The Lions don't play outdoor games. That's a decision they've made. Minnesota, they don't play outdoor games. Green Bay does. It gets cold in Green Bay, but that should be an advantage. It should be an advantage to Green Bay based on the regular season that you played that San Francisco's got to come to you. Or one of those dome teams, by not taking care of their business in your division, now has to come outdoors and play you. I know we're building these new amazing football cathedrals. That Washington Stadium looks amazing. I'm sure the Bill Stadium's going to be great. Tennessee Stadium's going to be great. Whenever we see the renderings for the Chiefs Stadium, I'm sure it's going to look amazing. Football is an outdoor game and should be preserved as that way. It is not 70 degrees with a light breeze every single day. Sometimes it gets cold. Sometimes it gets windy. Sometimes it rains. And that sometimes it's overcast. And all of those things should play a factor in what football is. So I'm here to tell you, as weird as it may sound that I'm such an advocate for outdoor football, I'm here to tell you that I think it should be protected. And if the Chiefs have a retractable roof, my opinion will be that they should open the roof because football should be played outside. Football is an outdoor game. Football is knowing how to manage the elements, knowing how to manage your emotions. It's all about management. That's all football is. How you manage pain, how you manage disappointment, how you manage changes. That's what makes us love football so much. It's not just the violence of it. I mean, that's part of it. But I love the chess match. I love the back and forth. I love the strategy of the AFC Championship game. Should you go for it on fourth down? Should you punt here? How do you play this? Can you kick a field goal here? Well, you can't because of the wind. I loved it. I don't want every football game to be that way. No, it'd be kind of boring if every football game was that way. But it'd also be kind of boring if every football game was 45-41. I also don't want football to be that either. I like the balance. Sometimes I like a 10-8 game. Sometimes I like a 2-1 pitcher's duel. I can appreciate both of those. And that's what I thought we got on Sunday. We got the best of both worlds. We got the two best teams in the NFL, in my opinion, playing in great conditions, and we're going up and down the field, scoring points at will. And the last team, that's what we got. In the other game, we got an old-fashioned, steam coming from your head, America's game, cold weather, got to manage it. We had one of those games, and it was really, really enjoyable to watch. I enjoy watching both games. I enjoyed the AFC Championship game. I enjoyed the NFC Championship game. And I'm excited for what I think could be an exciting Super Bowl. Keep it right here listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. I watched a lot of TV this weekend. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Sadly, football season is coming to a close, but it's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $2,000 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over and football is done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
In a world in need of a hero, One man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. For January, after the holidays, we're offering to auger your main line or branch line for only $99 per hour. That's $100 off this month only. This also includes a camera inspection with mainline work. Don't start 2026 with things backing up. So call Connolly Plumbing Solutions at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Midwest, winter 2026, Airman. Say, how's that utility bill? Even your level payment plan seems like it's tilting uphill? But wait, Airman here with some good news to re-level the playing field. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is now offering up to $1,400 in rebates on qualifying Lennox home comfort systems. But hold on, there's more. Midwest is also stepping up with 60 months 0% financing with approved credit. And the newest Lennox systems produce air that is more pure, run quieter, and are significantly more efficient. So much so that your new lower utility bill will seem like a late Christmas present. $1,400 rebate and 60 months at 0%. Now that's more like it. Go to MidwestHeating.com or dial 943-8787 for details. And as so many of your neighbors have for the past 7 decades, trust your air to the best. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got a few breakdowns. I believe they're ice-related. K10 eastbound on the ramp to 435 northbound. The right lane is blocked. Still very heavy on 35 coming out of downtown. You had a wreck that was cleared, but now 35 southbound at 27th. Left lane is blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we'll get to some of the things I watched on TV this a bit. I have other things I want to talk about first, so I apologize for teasing and then not paying it off, but I think you'll enjoy this. Rob, have you seen the new nickname that the internet has given Josh Allen? So just think about it. Irvin Johnson, his nickname is Magic. Eldrick Woods, his nickname is Tiger. Now, there's other examples, like Marshawn Lynch, we call him Beast Mode, or Calvin Johnson, he's Megatron, or Dante Hall, he's, the X Factor, the human joystick. Guys got nicknames. Have you seen the nickname that the internet is calling Josh Allen?
I have not seen the nickname.
The internet is calling Josh Allen the Rule Book,
That's a
calling
good nickname.
Josh Allen. That is the nickname they have given Josh Allen.
That's better when he gets called the red carpet.
The Rule Book is hilarious. I don't know who came up with that, but that's a great nickname for Josh Allen. I hope that sticks. It probably won't stick, but I think we should start adopting calling him the Rule Book. There's only one team that does this when their season ends. You don't hear Denver doing that today. You don't hear the Rams doing that today. Only one team over the last 10 years complains when their season ends and asks for something to be changed. It's them every single time. Calling him the Rule Book is a good one. I like that one.
It's a very good nickname. I mean, when he's out and about, they call him Haley Steinfeld's husband. So this is actually an upgrade.
The Rule Book is hilarious. All right, I do want to, let's talk about Andy Reid and let's talk about Eric Bieniemy. We'll do that, and then we'll talk about, I watched a lot of TV. I watched the Elizabeth Smart doc this weekend. I watched His and Hers this week. I mean, I don't know what else there was to do other than watch television this weekend. Wasn't a whole lot going on. Certainly wasn't any reason to be outside. So let's start with this. Andy Reid was asked a good question. Hey, who else was interviewed during the offensive coordinator process? Here's his answer.
No, I did talk to him. EB was in the playoffs, so I wasn't able to talk to him until after he was done there. So, but had to make a move faster. A lot of openings here, Sam. And so, if one guy's going one direction, you got to make sure that you can fill that position and do it as quickly as you possibly can. So, at the same time, was still being able to talk to others. So, to answer your question, yes, I did talk to other people.
I don't know why the Chiefs are so secretive in telling us who else interviewed for the job and that they still felt like Bieniemy was the best for the job. I mean, people interview for jobs in the league and don't get it all the time. I mean, Buffalo just interviewed Phillip Rivers this past weekend. They're interviewing Nathan Shieldhouse this week. Teams openly interview guys all the time. I don't really understand why you wouldn't be public with the other people that you considered for the job. I would love to really know the reason why. We'll never know the reason why. Maybe this is just media inquiring and I just am nosy, but very odd that no one was even linked to it. Like, it's not even like Schefter or Jay Glazer or Rappaport just have a list of names of people that interviewed. Like, we only can confirm one person interviewed for the Chiefs offensive coordinator job. It's Eric Bieniemy. Here is Andy Reid talking about the play calling process with EB and how things work.
Yeah, so listen, I still enjoy calling plays, but what I do is I'm not afraid to delegate and get opinions from people, and then even in certain situations, letting them go ahead and call things in different areas. So we do this jointly. I mean, I keep it open, and I felt that that's the best way. I want guys that contribute. I want them to work hard and be expert in their area, as in. And then cumulative in all areas. So it's I've always mixed and matched there, I guess I'd tell you, Matt, and it seemed to have been fairly productive.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with this. I mean, maybe this is like a false equivalent and I can live with that. I mean, Rob has a lot of input on the show. Topics, guests, how the show is formatted, when we do certain segments. Like, Rob is very involved in the process. But if there is a tie to break between Rob and I will be the one that breaks the tie. No, I don't want to do that. No thanks. I think that's what he is explaining. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could hire somebody as an offensive coordinator and then not give them any power over the offense. Like, that's part to me of being a good leader and delegating and giving that person responsibilities. But, I mean, in the end, Andy's name is all over the offense. It has been all over the offense from dating back to his time in Philadelphia, And ultimately, the person that gets blamed the most for the success or failure is Andy Reid. So I don't have a problem with that. Like, what he is describing to me just sounds like how most working relationships are. That the person in charge, the person higher up, and there's nobody higher up in that building than Andy Reid, like Mark Donovan, Brett Veach, the highest person in that building, not the owner, is Andy. So, yeah, it's my offense. I'll let you get some parts. I'm all for taking advice, but I don't have a problem with the way that he described that at all. I believe that is how it works. I think that sometimes we get too kind of bogged down with, this play. I think they're all working together to build the offense. I don't think you can have the amount of success that they've had without it being collaborative in some way. But I do think it also confirms what we already know. Like, everything over there runs because of the greatness of Andy Reid, and that's how it will continue to run for them moving forward. I want to play for you guys what Andy had to say about EB's impact on the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he brings it. Patrick knows him, first of all, Jesse, and then I tell you, EB will be very direct with him, like he does with everybody, but he knows it's coming from a place of knowledge there that he knows. And Patrick, you guys could take this whole thing a couple different ways, so I want to make sure we're saying this right. Patrick loved Nags, and he also loves EB. So this isn't either or deal. It's one guy having to replace another guy and that's not what this is about. But I want to make sure Nags gets his shout out here too, and that EB gets his.
I know they can't come out and say it how I'm going to say it, and that's fine. I think EB had a choice when he left. I think the Chiefs would have happily taken Eric Bieniemy back. I think EB made the choice, in order for me to spread my wings, I can't do it here. I have to go on and be an offensive coordinator somewhere else. I don't think that was the choice that Matt Nagy was given. I don't think that Matt Nagy is going to be a head coach in the league next year. I think that Matt Nagy is going to be an offensive coordinator for another team, just that team will not be in Kansas City. I think that was a mutual decision that we just need something different. I don't think he was given the option. I think EB a few years back was given the option. I don't think that Matt Nagy was given the option, whether Pat wanted to or not. Maybe Pat wants Matt Nagy more than he wants EB. I think even in that scenario, it would have been communicated, no. He is not coming back. You like this other guy, we'll bring him back, but he is not coming back here. I do not think that Matt Nagy had a place on this year's coaching staff, and he was part of the changes that they had to make. So, yeah, I think that is clear that they let Matt Nagy's contract expire. I don't think they had any plan on renewing a deal with him. Last thing here, here's Andy talking about EB's strengths as a coach.
I think EB, what are some of his strengths? I think he's got a great knowledge of the offense. I think he's understands leadership. I've always said he's a great leader of men, whether it's coaches, players. I think he does a heck of a job there. He's good with you guys. He's very honest with you. And there's no hidden agendas. I mean, that's just his personality. And listen, we're talking about EB here, so I'm not talking about Matt Nagy. That's not what we're doing. We're not comparing here. This is EB. You asked me his strengths. Those are his strengths.
It is impossible to not compare them. I also think it is impossible to not read into that is not what Matt Nagy's strengths are. I think Matt Nagy has strengths. I absolutely think he has strengths. I think Matt Nagy is a better offensive coordinator than most of you think that he is. I do. I think he is a capable offensive coordinator. I do. I think he is capable. I think in a better situation with more power, different situation, I think that Matt Nagy can have success. I think he could be a head coach again in the league. I really do. I think he has a chance. I just don't think it was going to work here. And ultimately, that's all that works. That's all that matters. All that matters is what works here under this scenario. And the Chiefs feel like EB and his strengths and his personality and his attention to detail, it is going to be a much better fit for them than Matt Nagy. It certainly was the first time around. We'll see if the sequel is just as good. Coming up on the other side, like many of you, I imagine you watched a lot of Netflix, a lot of HBO Max, a lot of all of that. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Refresh your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Reimagine your bathroom with up to 40% off select faucets during our Bath Savings event. Need it today? Order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items, subject to availability. Fees vary. Visit Lowes.com/same-day delivery for full terms.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. Any style, any budget. Like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or hand-matched diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jewel.
When it was time to paint the inside of our home, we made one call, and that was the Certa Pro painters, and the experience was amazing. They took all the stress about the job away from me, and they'll do the same for you. And now's the time to get that painting project completed that you've been putting off. Each Certa Pro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. So schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Certa Pro painters.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Rob Sight Ford, KC's Ford volume leader and top rated on Google. 135th and State Line. Rob Sight Ford, your 2025 Ford volume leader. Top rated on Google with 4.8 stars and 3,000 plus reviews. The best selection, best prices, and Kansas City's best customer service. Visit Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line. Buy right, save big, and drive home a winner. Only at Rob Sight Ford.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got the crash of 435 northbound still working. It's the ramp to Leavenworth. Be prepared to tap your brakes there. 435 eastbound at State Line. That crash cleanup continues off to the right shoulder. A lot of onlooker delay. And then 49 northbound at Maine. Right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
All right, the numbers are out for the UFC card. If you guys missed it, UFC is no longer doing pay-per-views. They have moved all of their pay-per-view events over to Paramount Plus. 4.96 million viewers tuned in for the first ever pay-per-view card on Paramount Plus. I was one of those people. I watched it this weekend. I don't know a whole lot about the UFC. Wouldn't consider myself to be a big fan of the UFC. But if it's just going to be on Paramount Plus, I'll watch it. It just doesn't take any effort to watch it. And I mean, it's not like the fights are, I'm not watching every single fight. I'm not watching the whole thing. But you tell me, hey, I've heard of this guy before. Hey, it's the main event. Just pop it on the app. I got no problem doing that. I will watch infinitely more UFC now than I did before. I was watching maybe 2, maybe 3 events a year. I'll watch a lot of UFC now. They've just made it so much easier and so much more convenient to watch it. So we'll see what kind of matches they get. We'll also see, at least for me, I'm saying this as the casual. Some of you might argue me up and down. I don't think the UFC has a star right now. Not in a star in the way that would get someone like me to really care. I really cared about Ronda Rousey when it was the it thing to care about. I really cared about Conor McGregor when that was the it thing to care about. And they just haven't really built that star up. Now, we'll see if they can. We'll see if they do. They're going to have a lot of opportunities. But something like that would be great right now for UFC, especially with some of these events are going to be on CBS. Some of them are going to be on Paramount Plus. They're planning something really big around the 4th of July, potentially at the White House. I think that one will be on CBS. I mean, that will do a massive number if that's what they end up doing. So we'll see how the rest of the year kind of plays itself out. Speaking of streaming, I think Netflix is on a heater right now. I think Netflix is having an incredible last 30 days or so. With the end of Stranger Things, I didn't watch Stranger Things, but I'm very aware of its like cultural relevance. I mean, they were showing the movie theater. They made $30 million off showing it in the movie theater. Like, that was a big deal, the end of Stranger Things. This His and Hers show, everybody's been talking about it. So everybody in my group chat was talking about it. I had to watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. Really, really good show. We already know Netflix does documentaries as well as anybody. Did you watch that Perfect Neighbor doc that came out last year?
Is that the one with the
girl at the house that kept calling the cops?
Yeah, and
that one got nominated for an Oscar. So that's on there.
Didn't the Catfish one also get?
Yeah, that one was good too.
That one
the one about the mom.
Yeah. Yes.
The mom and the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was good. I watched that one. I watched the Elizabeth Smart one yesterday. I knew the story, but I didn't know all the intricate details. Like, I didn't know all the plot twists, and then this thing happened and this thing happened. I watched that. I thought it was really well done. His and Hers. I'm not saying it's True Detective, but it's very similar to True Detective. It's better than some of the seasons of True Detective. It's not better than season 1. Season 1's incredible. It's better than that second season that they put together. Well, you remember that one, the one with Vince Vaughn and Rachel McAdams? That season was terrible. His and Hers was much better than that.
I've only seen 2 episodes of His and Hers.
I think it might have been better than the last couple seasons of the one with Mahershala Ali was good.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, if your bar is, hey, it was better than season 2 of True Detective.
That ain't hard to make. That's a low
bar.
Most
things on television have cleared that
bar.
bar.
On the ground. Someone said The Rip. I have not watched The Rip yet. That is actually my plan tonight is to watch. My plan is to watch The Rip tonight.
You'll like The Rip. I think you will. It's like 90 minutes to 2 hours, just like action drama. You'll like The Rip.
Yeah, I plan on it. I've heard good things about it. I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
It's weird that Matt Damon is going from The Rip to do The Odyssey this summer, but
I did see the screening for that, the trailer for the first time. I hadn't seen it before. Now it does. I mean, that's your kind of movie.
Good.
It just looks long and
it ain't gonna be short.
Cinematic. You love long and cinematic.
I don't know. You say these things like it's a negative.
You love that movie's gonna be 3 hours and 40 minutes. You love it. You're gonna be there for every minute of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
All I need to know is Travis Scott is in it. How great can your movie be if Travis Scott is in it? You know,
I don't think he's the star.
He might be.
Everyone's in it. Zendaya's in it. Tom Holland's in it.
Oh yeah, and my guy Boogie also mentions Netflix also had the Puff Daddy documentary a couple weeks ago too.
Oh,
so Netflix is on a run right now. Netflix is this is a good stretch for Netflix. They got a lot of stuff, which makes sense. They're charging us $20 for Netflix, so they better have good stuff on there. I also plan on, I got to start The Pit. I've been telling myself I'm going to start. I just haven't started it yet.
That show is not for me. I don't.
What is it? What's wrong with it?
Gratuitous health stuff. Oh, no, not for me.
Okay.
That's just like.
Oh, someone mentioned they also got the little skyscraper thing. I watched that too. Man, I had nothing to do this weekend. We all were watching a bunch of TV, but I watched the skyscraper thing too.
Have you seen Black Rabbit? Black Rabbit's on Netflix. We finished that.
Before.
It's a Jason Bateman show. It's like a 10-episode miniseries.
Is he playing the same guy he always plays?
No. He's like the guy who was in Ozark.
So the same guy he always plays?
No. The person he is in Horrible Bosses and Ozark are not the same.
That's what I'm saying. He has funny or that guy.
That's two different things.
Okay, well, Horrible Bosses came out in 2011. Horrible Bosses came out 15 years ago. Since then, you know what? He's like morphed into Matthew McConaughey has been the character from True Detective now for a decade. That's how Jason Bateman is. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.